on this move. Yeah, boy! Last time. On the broken bottles. After your display of fortitude and
Sorry.
skill, camaraderie, you finally made it. Not only to the ziggurat, but to its peak. Of which lied mysteries and answers that maybe you weren't ready for or didn't expect. A portal opening to some other dimension. Verax, by your side, both confused but curious. You entered, one by one, walking into a white ethereal realm, a floating rock with pillowy white sand and blackened stars dotted the sky. At the end of which, a large behemoth of a man, pale in skin and complexion with a beard. It seemed to be lifeless at the moment and restrained by chains and large diameter nails piercing its body. However, almost against your will, the ancient relic that you've clung onto for so long had activated itself. Like it had done many times before, pulled upon the arcane energies that it was known to do, so to speak, and you watched as the behemoth of a man was speared by the nails as the blood dribbled down into the cup, forming the broth that you partook in, almost as if it was a communion. The gravity of this discovery weighed heavily on all your heads, especially Verax, who seemed worried, perplexed, but by all means just gobstruck, just flabbergasted, if you will. Absolutely befuddled. He took a small tincture, there's a word for that, but a small amount of a vial of his black and blue ichor, whatever.
Ichor.
Yeah, it's blood. And proclaimed that this is one of the few times, and maybe his only time, but he was confident that you sat in the presence of a true, bona fide god. Not an aberration, not how it presents itself to a mortal, not how it would travel, but in its true form, in its physical, mundane way, just its flesh, blood, and bone. You talked amongst yourself and left the portal, finding yourself now at the peak of the ziggurat once more, and in fear of what would be coming, you all opened a ritual portal, a teleportation circle to the academy, being stopped by some unknown magical force, very similar to what you felt in the past as some form of anti-magic field. The connection simply was not there. In a fit of not rage, but concern and anxiety, seeing what you wanted to achieve, Verax offered the only help in the only way he knew how, perhaps taking you to a teleportation circle that he knew of, teleporting you all to the capital, Rasha, in the province of Rasha, one of the two kingdoms at war, and that is where you find yourselves. You have a question?
I do have questions.
Yes.
Do I got the pinpoint now?
For this scroll? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My other question. I tried to use teleportation circle.
Mm-hmm.
Can I, recollect my materials for that teleportation circle? No.
No.
I found the D20, by the way.
Ah, that's sad.
I didn't know if that's
I
what
appreciate
you
that.
wanted you, so.
Yeah. You used the spell. You fully used the spell, and you completed your form of the spell, burning the incense and going through the markings and doing everything.
Okay.
And at the last effort, not to be an asshole, that is how it happened. It simply didn't work, and that's why Dominus, when you communicated with him, was like, "It wasn't my call. They're blocking the shit out."
Does your spell to communicate with people work beyond planes?
Yeah, but there's a % chance that it doesn't make it.
We could have asked the fucking dude who he was.
He's gagged. Oh yeah,
Sending.
right.
There's probably some sort of magical barrier.
I have a
Maybe.
spell where I can talk to a god.
Honestly,
But I can also get absolutely fucking rim-rammed by that spell, so...
True.
Well,
Anyway.
What matters now-
we go through the portal. And then...
you go through the portal. Maybe thinking back on things that could have or would have been.
I'd like to time travel, please.
He could have just said nothing, but we could have tried. I just didn't think.
Well,
of
I
trying
feel like if he had as many magic tags as he did all fucking around him. If there's magic here to keep a god in place,
Yeah, there's also
I feel like there's probably
multiple,
magic
like,
there to like.
pieces of parchment with
Be like,
seem
you
to be
can't
like
fuck with this,
runes on them.
Yeah.
Kind of think that whoever put them there or whatever happened doesn't want to get communicated with. Like,
I don't know.
They want Homeboy locked up.
Anyways,
No, I just feel like we should have tried.
go through the portal.
Oh, it's autoplaying.
I'm mad that I didn't think about that until just.
We're gonna
no,
go
we're
back
going
to
to
the
Rasha. That's fine music.
Yeah, right.
Fucking
I'm not
hate
gonna
this
play
place.
that. Okay.
Belly of the beast.
Alrighty. The Vorpal world before you now dissipates. You step out of your small orifice that I should say, Verax had created. And you arrive in a well-decorated small back room with an arch that leads out into a grand library. Immediately, people right in front of you are all adorned with the Academy robes. Several of them drop
chilling.
their books,
We are fucking
and they
chilling,
like
baby.
turn to you, and Verax kind of like and begins to strut forward.
I fucking am
I-
literally glued to his side.
Do I still have this?
Yeah,
Like I still just. No, I put the sword away. We're covered in.
Yeah,
I'm covered for sure.
You're covered in blood, mucus, sweat, grime, piss, shit, all of it.
Yeah, we
Shit.
look like
You've been on the road for a while.
We look like shit. Right?
Before the battle that was, you guys have been on the road for like 2.5 days, like in the
Oh,
jungle.
yeah.
So
Swamp
I-
ass galore.
Would like to just. A bath.
you shout that.
Yeah.
Multiple people look at you. They all like kind of whisper like, and you see their eyes don't seem to even care about you four. And then they scurry away in a rush.
It's because they're scared of Arax because he's fucking
Dude, Rex is
sick.
the king that no one has fucking seen forever
The king of
because
the
he's
crown.
been out on some crazy adventure.
As you walk through, you find yourself in this beautiful chamber. Large stained glass windows. They ascend all the way to the ceiling. It's very contemporary modern type architecture where like there's no exoskeleton like a cathedral. It's just built of glass and transparency windows all the way. Like that's what makes the whole of this building. And you see the light gleaming in off your face. And for once, a little bit of a chill. It's a little bit more tame here than the heart of the jungle. You see scrolls and books, trinkets, goblets. They hover around the room. Obviously, you're in a very mystical place. Students and faculty alike, you see the differentiation of them. You know, the student robes and the faculty robes, and they all scatter. You do feel a sense of magical essence just being in this area. You make it down a singular hallway before turning left, and immediately a full elf with a more lavish robe, less lavish than Verax's, obviously much more lavish than yours, turns the corner with like a pillow, like a billowing cape. It's got a half cape on, and he takes off like what looks like to be like almost like a sweatband. Large, long, dirty blonde hair, and he like kind of cocks his head at you, and then looks at Verax, and they just kind of stand in this silence for a moment. And he finally speaks. The elf does. I was not aware that you would be gracing our halls so soon, Your Majesty. Verax says, only but a visit, my friend. We have matters to attend to, if you don't mind. And as he tries to step by him, the elf kind of steps in front of him. And then again, another moment of silence. He says, well, if that's the case, I would love to make a formal statement of your arrival here. I would love to maybe have you for a cup of tea with your visitation.
Can you just get out of the way?
Can I insight check him?
You can insight. Excuse me, and you are...
Listen, we need to go rest.
Yes. Interesting. That's great for you. And I hope you have luck. You're welcome to leave, please.
Can you show me? I've never fucking been here before.
Yeah. Anywhere but here would be great. Go ahead. Shoot.
60.
I look to Roller. I'm like,
16.
Oh my god. Okay. Already starting off hot, gang. Idle, get in there.
I'm gonna make a roll for it. I just know damn well. Something's up.
Oh yeah.
Because Verax has been
Varix has been AFK
here
for
because I have not fucking.
he's been AFK. He's just taking
For
fat
months.
bomb.
Kelfing
He's
never
just
met
been
the
taking
normal
fat
Verax.
bomb rips.
But he's been. Something's obviously been bothering him, I guess. Homeboy looks perplexed all the time.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and everyone's like. Like, everyone. Like, wasn't like, oh my god, it's Verax, we need to get out of here. He's too great to be in our presence. They were just straight up like, it's Verax, run!
Well, from what I remember, I don't know. Varix obviously went out to find a cure, but I feel like that's not what necessarily happened between Varix and the college.
I have a feeling, yeah.
I think that like what happened between them was a bit of a split, and not like a, hey, I'm gonna go find
So
what we need.
he says that,
Yes.
and I'm going to grab Verax by the back of his arm and whisper in his ear. We should probably go.
Just turns back to you. Gladiando. It is. We have such a rich and vibrant history. As you can tell, me and my compatriots have suffered quite the unfortunate last couple of nights of rest. How about you brew up a tea, and I will find some sleeping quarters for our friends here, our guests.
Called who? Verax called the other guy Loriandel.
Glariandel.
Gloriandel. Okay, I heard Loriandel and I was like, what the fuck?
It's
an immediate fight.
I squeeze a little bit harder on Verax's arm, and I again whisper in his ear. It's killing time.
Roll me a stealth check.
What did you say?
He's killing time.
I thought
I
he
know it's
said,
metagaming, but Molnir might just walk through this guy.
18.
I thought he said
Molnir would walk through this guy. Molnir would be like,
He's
"You're
not even in
silly."
front of you anymore. He has told you to move along,
he
kiddo.
told you to get the fuck out.
I turn the corner, I just walk into him like the cube.
Okay, you walking into him? Are you
Yep.
physically? So what does that mean? You're just gonna tackle him, or are you making
No, I'm
an
just
attack?
walking at him.
You walk at him, and he moves his body, so you walk through him, and then he.
And then I turn around and I walk right back into him.
Okay.
You hit your knees against his calves, and he kind of looks down on you, and then looks back up. What was your roll?
Do it again.
18. You manage to
Molnir's like a
duck
dumb pug.
behind Verax in a way with his, with his bodily figure and his pillowy robes, and you kind of see his like ear like perk in a way that he seems to be picking up on what you're trying to tell him. So, if it would be okay with you, then we are going to make our way to the dormitories, and we will return for a cup of tea, as you so state. Lariandel looks at me as well. Suppose I am not one to keep you from your duties, sire? Please. And he bows and lets Verax through. As Verax kind of like, we will return. And he just kind of waddles on forward.
I put my hand on your shoulder.
No. I like, as he's doing it, I like look back, I'm like, I keep walking.
I go,
Uh-oh.
let's not do that.
You see him look at you up and down, his eyes squint. There's very obvious a level of disdain for you already, but he doesn't seem to do anything in reaction.
We march on. We fucking march on.
Okay. As you make your way through the corridors of this building, it's very similar to the one in Concordia. In its like presentation, it's very similar things on the walls. They have the same like placards of like members of the academy that have been of a great influence. You're definitely in a bigger central hub though. This seems to be the most expansive infrastructure building that you've been into the academy, aside from the academy. Because you've been in like 3 separate places that they've held influence, and this one's like pretty sizable in comparison even to the one in Concordia, which is a capital city.
Yeah.
So, you go through this building. There seems to be a wake of people, though, that begin to part from your general direction as they kind of like see you guys in double take and see the dude in the lead, and they just do the like as you guys walk through the lobby. You get to a small cafe area, almost like a receptionist area, and Verax says, "I have every intention of hearing out Gloriandale, so I will be returning her later, but I feel perhaps we must let blood cool, perhaps, and leave for now to return."
What do you mean by blood cool? I didn't.
Verax.
Definitely on edge.
Didn't get a good feeling about that whole thing.
Probably should go.
And I agree. But I have responsibilities.
Are we like in a closed room at this point?
No, you're like right at the front door. And he's opening the door as you guys talk.
Okay, let's go.
We shall. I do not need to be convinced we have things to attend to before our
Yeah, but he was.
hike.
I think the things we attend
I
to.
pull him out the door. I just
You,
grab.
you pull him out the door. You're kind of like, ah!
And I'm like,
Oh, good heavens, sir!
Listen, I might not be right, but Mr. G over there was killing time for a reason.
Roll me a persuasion check. That's fine. Oh, good heavens!
Okay, that's what I thought it was. 18.
Sorry to start. We can turn the light on.
No, you're good. This thing's just really dark.
Also the ball.
18. 16, 18,
Yeah.
18 today. Okay. He looks at you. He leans in. He goes, "Trust me, I more than believe you. There are things that I am bound by oath to do at times.
I understand that. but-
We will solve this, or at least I will solve this problem later. It is not one for yours. For now, let us find a place to reconvene before we depart.
Alright.
Any recommendations?" And as he says that, you're outside. You see the city, and the city is giant. Let me get you the descriptor. I don't have a map for it for reasons that I'll tell you later. My mind of how this world works cannot be built by my artistic ability for this specific city. So we will get to that later. Okay. So you see large peaked buildings that scrape the clouds, massive sleek sky bridges that go between them, connecting what is essentially a skyline. You see groups of guards in groups of 3, 2 of them in standard regal armament with a side fan of bristles, and in the middle a giant water elemental walking between them, and behind it a man in a seance with a bowl. And you see this group of different people pass several times. It seems to be their form of government enacted
Is
justice.
it like the same bowl that was in that cave at the underwater temple?
Roll me a perception check, and this is going to be an insane DC.
Is that an at 20?
Yeah.
Actually?
Let me see.
Oh, man.
It was.
Wow. Okay.
Rollers,
So-
rollers straight up just like.
Rover's like, let's speed run through Lou Let's get
Uh,
us through
that
hours.
bowl is incredibly similar to the arcane and architectural nature of the one that you had previously seen control water elementals. It does seem to be some form of conduit to bend them to one's will. And it is borderline identical, aside from it being most likely more modern and
Yeah.
less ancient. In a
Just that's the same way that you do the water elemental.
And you see air elementals pass, water elementals. These,
Doctor, can you?
We've seen air elementals? When did we see air
If they
elementals?
no, right now.
If they
Oh.
Like in front of you,
okay,
as
okay,
we speak.
okay.
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah,
said- I
yeah.
thought you just said water elementals.
You're Gucci.
So, okay. Do they have the same conduit, like for the air
All of
elementals?
them, yeah.
of them?
All these groups that you see, and they're sporadic while you walk through the city over the next 20 minutes, right? But unlike any other city you've been in, the guard presence here, astronomical in comparison to anywhere you've been. I mean, it's like cop parked there, and then you walk up the street and there's one at the corner, and then you walk down 2 streets and there's another one, and all of them are groups of these like 4 people.
Basically 50 Robocops.
We shouldn't leave there at all. 'Cause
No,
we
God no.
do not belong in the city.
Dude,
technically
we all
still-
almost died for this old man.
yeah,
so
we're
many fucking
illegal
times.
aliens in the city.
The city itself,
Would we
Sure.
know if the city is
I don't even know.
on lockdown
You don't
or
fucking
not?
know.
You haven't
I'm
Or
heard,
just
like
thinking about
the
the game.
country.
Just here.
you haven't heard anything. You guys have been out of country for months at this point.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The city itself is as beautiful as it is large, coated with cherry blossoms and lavenders on every street corner. The cobble roads are made of a beautiful hand-laid brick and mortar. It is the epitome of like an esoteric city arboretum. It is
We
perfect.
skipped the country during winter, right?
Hmm?
Like winter had just started when we left.
Yep.
So it's not winter. It's like spring. I'm
It's
assuming.
like coming out, yeah. It's coming out of coming out. It's still chilled. You're not cold by any means, not yet. But it's not 85 to 95 degrees every day.
Yeah.
It's like you're like sitting at a 70 and there's some sun, but it is like, oh, there's a wind chill.
like right now.
Yeah, maybe 5 degrees colder than it is right now. So, yeah. Verax takes a deep breath.
Celsius.
Well, where to?
I don't know the city.
None
at
of us
all.
have been here.
Oh, you haven't been to the gem. Rasha.
No, and we'd rather not ask the gods because we assume that there's still war going on.
It would be a safe bet. He pulls out one of his books and he goes, so let me. I
still
knew of
have
a small hole in the wall where we could sit for one moment.
I wonder if Verax just has. He's like, I got pussy here.
Let me pull up my list up.
Let's see.
Different
Let's see.
area codes.
Which bar has given me the most poon?
This is my yellow.
He's like, I wonder if Glenda's still alive.
if Glenda.
Dude.
He says, oh, yes. It's right out of the temple district. Follow me.
The temple.
If you wouldn't mind. You guys walk through the city, and like I said, every corner's got a blossoming cherry blossom. Lavenders and lilacs adorn. It's almost like it has zoning laws. Like you can't have a building be built without some form of nature or sporadic vines or a grapevine growing on your building. Like it's everywhere. It's almost part of the city. It almost breathes with it. There's so much vibrancy and frivolity here. It really is, even with the tensions that you're experiencing, a relaxing image. It's like walking through an unroofed mall. I don't know. It's really,
beautiful.
it's gorgeous. And I need to hammer that in because I don't have a physical
It's that,
representation.
but not ruins. Like,
Yeah,
really
kind of. Yeah.
Is there anything, not like skyscrapers, maybe like larger trees that we can see on the horizon? Like, is it like maybe there's like a couple large, big ass trees?
Roll me a perception.
Where's my dice?
Where are my dice? But father!
16.
16. You kind of peek out. Now, you are in the heart of a
Yeah.
metropolitan area. And you do see out, at your 70-degree angle into the sky, you don't see any lush things that have grown to that height in this area. But you can see, like, even at your angle, like, sometimes you'll see down, like, a thoroughfare, like an actual road, and you'll see the skyline still is several miles away. Like, it is a gigantic city. So wherever you are is just one part of many, so to speak. As you walk through the city, there are the reoccurring, I was getting excited, the reoccurring image of these militia state guards. And they don't even seem to be enacting any form of like questioning or anything. They're just there, always, everywhere, ever watching, everywhere you go. There are elementals controlled by these groups of 3, always groups of 3. It seems to be their protocol. 2 warriors and a dude controlling. So 3 plus the elemental, 4 total. You see several posters dot alleyways.
Trying to peek at those.
Yeah, you walk up. No perception check needed. You walk up to the posters. You see a pattern of 2 in abundance. There's obviously posters of like, come on down to the lumberyard, we're hiring. There's things of not importance to you, but as you skim through them, you see in abundance 2 major posters. The first reoccurring poster displays a giant shadow in the background with 2 outstretched hands enveloping a small child holding a teddy bear. The text at the bottom says, "Stay out of the shadows, stay safe." Most of these posters seem battered or scrawled upon or even partially covered with other posters, as if they've been here a while. The other posters you see that are much cleaner, they seem to be put up in a higher amount of quantity, everywhere from almost every street corner to small billboards to alleyways etched into stone. It is a parchment bearing 3 men in regal Rasha armor, standing in front of a wavering flag of Rasha, which is the crossed wands, short sword and a wand, inscribed with the text, "No darkness may prevail where duty lights the way." Very call to action type posters. And that seems to be the majority of them. There are the couple sporadic ones where it's like, missing cattle from the north. If you have heard anything, please seek Geoffrey at 11111 East Temple Square, you know.
I've heard enough. Another 500,000 gold to the defense
we
budget.
must find.
Another 500,000 gold.
As you guys walk, Verax kind of like his shoulders soft, you know, they drip a little bit, and he pats himself down, and he finally takes a real breath as he leads you through the city, which is just gorgeous. He speaks. So we have somehow survived, and though I can't help but feel we now bear the weight of an enormous secret, one that cannot be left undone. Here I was ready to retire from my life's work, but maybe one last life goal. That man. Either way, we must move forward before moving back, I understand, but well, let's just find some respite before I delve into my monologues. I apologize. At my very minimum, I need just a moment's rest.
I just hope it's only up from here from the jungle. This climate is much more suitable. I must say.
It takes about 25 minutes. And as you move out, though the aesthetic doesn't wane, unlike other cities, even though you've traveled for 30 minutes, you've probably walked 5, 6, 7 miles inside the city. Even though the buildings have scaled down, you seem to be in a smaller portion of the city, the quality and aesthetic remains identical. I mean, it is never ending. It's still gorgeous. You're definitely in a lower income area socioeconomically. It's not like nobles and stuff. This is a people, you know, that you see walking around in nicer attire. But you are in a capital, and this part of the city still looks great. He turns into a small... the building looks that of a greenhouse in its entirety. It's made of glass, clouded panes, and it's on stilts. But it's good looking. And it has a small keg as the sign, like a 2D keg. And it says, the Green Keg Tavern. And he says, "Oh, I hope he's still here." And he enters.
Follow suit.
You enter, and the place seems overall pretty busy. Maybe 40 people in here total, but it's a pretty large establishment for the most part. Let me get you a little bit of something, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of some immersion, if you will. I should have had all this prepared. Oh my goodness. My immersion! It's working! Alright. People talk amongst themselves. Patrons of the bar, although mostly Elven. That seems to be the primary bloodline, I don't know what you want to call it, species, race. The standard division of people here seem to be Elven or some descent of Elven. But uncanny, standing out from the rest of the crowd, visibly different, is a giant furbolg behind the bar.
Yes.
He's a male, large stained green hair. And as you look in this building, you see that there's plants everywhere, from eucalyptus trees to cactuses, vines growing on the floor, grapevines scaling the ceiling, and it really is just a greenhouse. There are no solid facing walls, everything's transparent. And there are bushes and shrubs growing in the middle of tables. It is, by all intents and purposes, a greenhouse that someone had put furniture to serve guests. This gentleman sees you enter and he goes, "Oh! Oh! Mr. Varric, it has been such a pleasure to have you in my establishment once again. Please take a seat, please." And he waves all of you into a chair up front near the bar, or a table.
Oh yeah.
Varric says, "You are a sight for sore eyes, Gavin. I have missed you dearly over these moons. Please, if we could just have a round of whatever's on barrel, if you will. And the gentleman bows his head very quickly, grabs a bunch of tankards, leaves you quickly, and begins to serve you a tankard of ale. He says, "Well, it goes without saying, friend, do not worry of the coin. I will cover it. You are always welcome in these parts. I'll get up a small platter for you to share. Otherwise, just holler if you need anything. Quite a busy day, and I'll do my best to be expedient."
Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you. Anytime, young man, anytime. And he walks away. Important note, are you wearing your mask?
Right.
I don't think you put it back on yet.
No, not after we left the jungle, no.
Okay.
I didn't say we did, so I'm not going to metagame and be like,
Okay.
ah,
It's good to know. I just need to know for, what I'm doing. There is a bard. I don't think do I have, something that I can, put on for that? Not really. We'll do this one. As the crowd kind of murmurs, as there does seem to be some live music here. And for a moment, Verax just reclines in his chair, his little wooden chair. The padding of these chairs is living moss. It's very weird and a little gushy, but God, is it comfortable. It is beyond something that a normal tavern should have. Otherwise, you're here.
Varys, I got some questions.
Yeah, let me get this plan again.
Is there like a bathroom or anything?
There is a washroom. You see people exiting and entering. It is by all means a bathroom. Okay, you go into the bathroom. To your surprise, you're not used to this. It is like an actual bathroom. There seems to be some rudimentary form of sewer in the city, and it's quite upscale.
So there's not a hole in the ground.
What?
Stalls.
No, it is like a singular room. Like you go in, you close the door behind you.
It's got a moss-covered toilet seat. You can continue with your goods.
Okay.
carbon.
I
You
don't know what the fuck you're doing.
have some questions.
I got questions.
I see.
It's like the 70s.
I'm wondering what the circumstances under which you left the school.
Well, I'm sure
We do know a little bit, but
my
it's pretty hush-hush, and I don't know if what we heard is 100. I want to hear from the man.
Things seemed a little tense
well.
Oh, yeah.
back then.
When I departed, my sole goal was to heal a dear friend of mine, Scorpio. I'm sure Dominus had informed you of that based on what you told me.
Yes.
What really happened was it was clear that someone within the academy was resulting, and it was the reason for the bad things that had happened to my dear friend. That, accompanied with the several council rulings against some of my decision-making, had made me wary that things or people were acting against me deliberately. In a ploy to keep both of our power, I appointed Dominus as temporary acting man, the academy headmaster, if you will. And I departed for a absence of leisure, if you will. I neglected all of my formal authority and gave that to the council and Dominus to oversee the academy. And I went on my quest to find the scorekeeper.
What? Is this common knowledge? Like, what was told to the students? Because everyone knew you and knew to get out of the way.
Well, I'm sure word travels fast. I mean, I am a prominent figure, though sometimes I wish that not to be the case. The faculty are sure to have in-seated doubt about my ability to lead in an attempt to make sure I'm not able to return to my post. And I would not be surprised. Hell, I would be surprised if that wasn't the case. By Eotiran, I would be surprised if they had not done everything in their power to make sure that the academy crumbles. I do not know why, but I promise you, I do intend to learn and topple them from their feet.
Okay. I'm just curious about some of these things, because obviously Rolger, who's absent right now, got some weird vibes from that guy, and so did I. And not that, a long-standing friend of yours would turn on you, but obviously you've had...
Young friend,
I am 10.
let me explain. Your ally, Rolga, is completely justified. Glariandel is the leader of the outreach of research and academy. It's our largest institution outside of the tower itself. He holds much weight, and I'm sure he is very privy to the things that have been said of me in my absence. If you recall upon our first meeting, you met me outside of an older friend of mine, Mr. Razan Mara.
Yeah.
I had approached him for guidance, a man wise beyond his years. And though he was unsure as well, he is the only one that I would consider outside of Dominus truly trustworthy in every facet. Even at my level of arcane understanding, people still hunger for power, authority, rule. I would put nothing under it to corrupt those from within, and that is why I left, to guarantee both the students' safety, and so I hopefully could avoid a dastardly fate for my friend the Scorekeeper.
I just know that the Broken Bottles have had friends that ended up trying to kill them, and people who wanted to kill them who ended up being pretty good friends.
Well,
And,
I've only been with you for a couple months, and that's
My
already
vibe,
happened twice.
I just know that from the vibe that I got and the vibe that Rolger got, I think it's in our best interest to move forward and not hear him out on whatever he has to say. Take that how you will.
Might be a trap. You don't know.
The vibes were not good,
No.
Vibes were off.
and I think we should focus on
Roller's gonna shoot.
the task at hand and continue to move forward.
if you truly believe that it would be dastardly to our success, then I will put it off until a later date. However, he doesn't mean well. I'm sure his mind has been poisoned. Or mean poorly. It doesn't that matter. You leave the bathroom. You hear from the corner of the room some loud cheers as the bard music comes to a stop, and he sings a singular line that you all can hear. And whatever he sang got the crowd incredibly riled up to the extent that they all start chanting. He says, "For though they're cracked and rough around," and everyone cheers once again. Obviously, it seems to be some form of local bard's tale. So hopefully I don't butcher this, don't make fun of me, my voice is cooked beyond belief. But the bard music begins to play, and everyone begins chanting around as he sings this melody as the entire crowd falls silent. He says it once more, "For though they're cracked and rough around," and then the crowd says it in Batum. "And though they're cracked and rough around, oh gather round and raise your ales, I'll sing to you a merry tale of heroes bold and spirits wild." Then everyone repeats, "Spirits wild. The broken bottles, fate's own child. In Titan's trials blades did ring, they fought like storms, like winter's sting. And when the dust and blood did clear, the broken bottles stood sincere, sincere. A demon made of bone and spite, they faced it deep in dead of night. With steel and spell they broke its thrall and sent it crumbling, bones and all. Through ruins lost and shadows deep, they ventured where the cursed ones weep, with treasures found and legends spun, their sagas only just begun. So drink to them, brave souls and free, the bottles broke, yet victory. For though they're cracked and rough around, in broken glass, true hearts are found."
I take my helmet off and I go. I imagine I'm facing like what is a
I'm
bar
looking.
look like?
I'm
Can I see
having
what he
this
looks like?
conversation about like, listen, man, I think this guy might be trying to kill you.
The bard is of tiefling descent.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Jarek.
You fucking
Jarek's like, dude, I'm gonna fucking write this shit down. It's gonna be so fucking sick.
And then he does the verse again. He sings it from the top. But in between each verse, he does the, "And though they're cracked and rough around, and though they're cracked and rough around," and they do it back and forth, and then he goes into
Dude,
the
bravo, by the way, Brady.
Holy shit,
That was great.
That was good. Wow.
Should I pull out the fucking standard imagery?
They do seem to be. This seems to be
Yeah.
some form.
Lay low for now.
Seems to be
Dude,
Lay
a
low for
pretty
now.
catchy tune.
Lay low for now.
To where
Lay
the
low for
entire audience
Imagine how much
knew
free
the
shit we
words.
could get.
I'm rolling for it.
So it's
now.
popular
Dude,
enough.
please don't. Won't there. Please
rolling for
fucking
it.
do not.
It seems to be popular enough that people knew.
I was like, dude, whenever he did, I was like, did Rolger fucking like sneak out about and be like, dude, I got this fucking sick song. You should
I wrote the song and I gave it to him. That's what
All
I
in
did.
10 seconds.
All in 10 seconds.
That's a bad.
But aside
You're
from
like,
the,
that is a.
Dude, you're
fucking
literally an
bad.
idiot savant. Like, I don't know.
I am an idiot savant.
You're-
I'll take that. as
Like,
fucking
you'll be
right.
like, oh, I'm not smart. This says blah 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 blah. And everybody's like, what language is that? He's like, you're like, I don't know, some ancient shit. Like, you know. It's
I'm
whatever.
like the ultimate stoner that isn't stone.
well,
Man.
You're like, yeah, I watched Joe Rogan.
aside from the big haha funny reveal,
Yeah, I'm on a carnivore.
it does seem that everyone in this audience is aware of the tale. Like they're chanting the words with it.
What does
What? Really?
what does
Yeah.
the tiefling?
I'm fucking amazed.
Yeah.
Tyrone
The
is like, what is happening?
So-
like, does he
here?
look familiar in any way, shape, or
Roll
form?
me a. Oh god. You know, I'm gonna have you roll me a history check. Yeah.
Tiefling. I'm trying to remember any
You are the
notable-
most fortunate allies to find you singing songs around the land.
Oh, yeah,
Dwarf.
Yeah.
He's a
I didn't know
tiefling?
they were.
What color is he?
He's definitely more of a purplish hue instead of red.
I didn't know.
Horns are
we
pretty
did all that.
stout. Come out moving forward, then curl
Can
back.
I
He does have like a little side
Very.
braid, the feather,
Can
full
I-
bard attire.
make
I
my
didn't
way
expect
towards-
anything different from you, my boy.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking.
The
I'll
crowd.
go grab my drink off the table.
It's
I need
I'm
to
gonna
get
walk
a
towards.
It's
the,
one of those things where, like, even though there's an audience, it's not like it's a mosh pit. Like, people are on their tables,
Yeah.
like, and no, they're fucking slamming their tankards and doing the thing.
I walk towards him.
Okay, I'll wait.
Is the song still going?
Yeah, they're still singing.
Okay, remind me what Verax had just told me before all this fucking happened. I already am like, that blew me away. Can I get one of these, Brady?
Yeah, please. If they're leaving, I just.
So the
So I
it's
said,
not.
I think it's in our best interest to continue moving.
And you said,
he
okay.
said, okay. I do. I 100% do.
Walk towards the.
We were waiting for you guys.
the stage.
Okay, please remind me what Verax said first.
He said, okay. He said he doesn't mean well. He has a lot of Gloriandale has a lot of say. This is like a giant installation here, like more than most. Like he's a upper member of faculty. He doesn't mean well. His mind is probably poisoned because they're telling him bad things about me. It's not his fault, but I understand that he's probably part of the problem. If you really think it's a bad idea and it will inhibit our success, then we will just move forward. That is verbatim what he said without voice.
And I say, you got it. And then I hear the music and I'm like,
What? So, yeah, so you approach, and so the way the song goes, because at the end of the day, it's not like an Iliad, you know what I mean? It is just a bard's sung tale. So most of the emphasis of the song is on that one line where like you back and forth, and though they're cracked and rough around, na, 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 and then he'll sing the whole song, and then he just keeps like going into a solo as people chant to themselves. It goes for about 7 minutes, and finally he like takes off his feather and bows, and everyone's like, ah! Yeah. People seem to have, it seems to be a star hit as of late.
Excuse me, sir.
He looks at me and goes, oh, hello.
Where did you hear that?
Where did I,
Did you make that?
the Tale of the Broken Bottles?
Yeah.
What? Everyone on the coast has had it.
Everyone on the coast.
Indeed.
Who
Shit.
started?
It's actually, it's a funny story. Actually, I had the honor, I didn't get to meet the gentleman, but it was
In
published.
Half work?
Well, I haven't met the fella, but it was published in a book of poetry, so to speak, out of Durain by a man named Jericho Lake.
Huh.
you're fucking with me.
I sit there and I take my helmet off and I scratch my head.
It's one of the most popular bard's tales in the entire
Really?
of El Terrain.
So
as of late.
Jericho Lake.
As I know it, yes, he's published multiple works as of now. Yes,
And he's still in
Well,
Durain?
what are some of his other works?
I would assume. Oh, most of them are more esoteric, not great for
Because I
a
think-
tavern.
I think I've heard of some of them. Does he have like the Bard's Tale of Cosby?
That's funny, but no, I'm not familiar with the Bard's Tale of Cosby. Oh.
No, great song, fella, and I flip him a gold.
Oh, he goes, oh, well, I'm glad it inspired goodness. I appreciate you
Oh, it
mentioning
inspired me.
Ah, that's great. I can't believe you haven't heard it. He looks at your shirt. Imagine.
He looks at your jersey and he's like, oh!
What? So, do you know the Broken Bottles?
I myself have not crossed that path, but I have great things
Do
of
you
their
know like
persuasion.
what or who they are or anything?
Well, the stories say that They are heroes of Tordelaire. Among some smaller settlements around, but there was a paper written about them in their patronage of resurrecting the city of Ignotus.
I have the paper. I remember I took a copy and I put it in my paper.
And that is where
I
the tale
literally took
began. And then during my stay, because I am actually originally from Vistar, I took a travel south to perhaps mingle with some of the southern ladies, if that's...
Of course.
Yep.
We get it.
As you may know, I went to Durain and he was doing a symposium, if you will. I did not get to meet with him, but he was publishing a book of poems, and this was one of the Bard's tales that he had written on behalf of the Broken Bottles. He said that he had traveled with them for a short period, and he gave a speech about the
Love them. Do you know what they look like or anything?
there are descriptors, but I have not met them.
Please share them.
Well, they speak of 3 individuals, one of flowing blonde hair, well, dirty blonde, a man of stealth and accuracy. Another, a stalwart man of equal dimension.
On every side.
On every side. Another, and he begins to puzzle.
I am the perfect cube.
He looks you up and down, doesn't seem to... He describes you to a T and does not seem to... He goes, and then another, a giant behemoth of a man, known with the strength to topple mountains, but instead calls upon the dark arts to slay his men. And his ally, the avian, known for committing mass atrocities.
And I go, I would love to meet him, and I go and sit down at the table.
Yeah, he literally looks up and down. You do not see a glint of recognition in his eyes. As he describes you like muscle, vein, and fiber by word.
I go, yeah, I go, okay, hey,
So if I'm
keep singing that song, and I go and sit down.
if I'm carrying around the standard of victory, it would be poking out, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's visible.
Just sit down.
Yeah.
With that bitch
I would
and
assume
get
it's
laid, man.
sheathed, you
Yeah,
know, the
it's
blade
like
is-
it's like in like some sheath, probably on my back, like maybe on my back, goes all the way down. It's like the flag's kind of like tucked behind.
I love to think that we're all just sitting there like,
Oh,
I'm gonna sit down at a
I
table
already
like
had
this.
my
I'm
celebration.
gonna
a cube, a
Verax is
giant
still-
man,
Verax
and
is
a
still with
bird,
us,
and we're
right?
just like,
Verax is still with us? Or did, okay, I didn't know if you went to.
I didn't know we were trying to lay low. I was like, Boulder, they're singing songs of your story.
Verax.
He was like, I don't remember any of that. And I was like, well, how drunk were you?
You are strong and dangerous.
We had no idea. We were just cruising around. And
That's how legends are made.
So when that,
So
I
what-
sit down at the table with them.
A bird, a cube,
Does that
and
guy,
a...
by any chance, just glance over at the table?
We go back to thinking.
no one in the tavern recognizes
So when
us.
I
Perception
sat,
check.
so when I
well,
sat
hang
at
on,
that
we
table-
are all fucked.
We are all
When I
fucked, but
said
we
that
are
to him,
the
there
people
was other
in the
people,
song,
obviously.
literally.
Paying
You're not
attention to
traveling with the
conversation.
dirty blonde guy
Alright,
anymore.
don't even
You're
Yeah,
traveling
That's
with the
true.
crowd.
We don't have
Has
our
anyone
sex
looked at her?
icon Lucas
roll me
anyway.
Terms on.
Fucking Fabio. Yeah, we don't have Fabio anymore, so all the girls don't look.
24.
I'm trying to find out what a fucking wood elemental look like.
I'm rolling high.
All right.
Keep rolling hot. This is fine.
I'm not telling you to be quiet. You
No,
you
you're
were
good.
fine. He asked a question, not gonna answer because you rolled high. I was just gonna say fuck you.
I should have played Lucas more like a playboy.
Most of the crowd, whether it be from where these people come from or their part of the world, they seem mostly uninterested. There is one guy at the end of the bar
And I'm like this with my tankard.
who originally you saw when you walked in. I will describe him to you. Where is my NPC list? There we go.
Actually, I'm gonna sit like this at the table.
With your big old stinky feet. I know you wear sandals. Dude,
I don't even know what I have on.
you have like Birkenstocks on.
Birkenstocks.
You've worn them the entire trip.
I got Jesus.
everywhere. You were wearing them in the swamp.
Is it,
toes
please,
got
sorry.
like-
I'm having the time of my life.
His toes have
Sorry.
like 15
Let's
layers
lock in,
of
let's lock
fungus.
in.
I hit,
No, you're good.
I hit fame and time runs out.
So do I notice this guy kind of look over?
So you see, it's actually a female. Sorry. You see a very petite, I will describe it so no one gets the wrong idea, flat-chested female dragon. Do Dragonborns have memories? Do they have...
I'm sure.
I think it's up to you, dude.
Fuck.
Do
we'll
Dragonborns
we'll
have-
figure
wait.
this out.
Have
Hey,
memory?
but
They
they
have
have
to have-
found an in-law reason why Argonians have titties.
All
So,
I'm
I mean, you
saying-
can figure it out.
Argonians have tits, so sure.
Well,
True. My Argonian wife has massive.
There is a green, sharp-crested dragonborn. She seems to be wearing like a half cape and like a Commodore jacket, like a blouse, but it's very formal and it has Rasha colors on it.
Oh. And
She is fucking just burning her eyes into your skull as she like.
Tyrone's gonna be like, hey man, what did that guy say to you?
he has no idea.
Yeah, well, what did he say like about
This
the tale?
this song, the entire coast knows about this.
Well, that's
You're away. I go, hey, our old friend, Jarek.
ponytail man.
He wrote the song. He's very famous.
Of course he is.
Can I whip out the newspaper
Yeah.
that had the story of us fucking doing it?
Yeah.
Can I read through it just a little, just quick, just
Yeah.
skimming through?
Off memory.
Off memory, yeah. I don't want you
So,
to make, I don't want to make
so
you
what
look
it
like
is it was written by the lead editor
Lucas's
of the Arcane
Lucas's
Almanac.
friend.
father friend. It was
Yeah,
It was
that
like
guy.
my uncle.
The one that he
yeah,
went
it was,
off
it was
with
his father's
into
closest
the-
friend.
Yeah.
He was the only person within the city that he
It was
gave
that
a
dude
shit
you call uncle even though you're not.
Yeah,
That was
I-
the guy
those
that
are
he
all
left
my-
with, right? The same guy. that
Yeah,
wrote that
same
paper.
guy,
Yeah.
same dude.
your uncle.
He was the
Uncle Roger.
he was the lead writer and editor for the Arcane Almanac, like the only like transcontinental newspaper, if you can call it that. It's more so of like they bundle up wanted posters and crazy world events, and then they fucking a bunch of individual flyers and they ship them off. You know what I mean? It is a newspaper. It's not. It's kind of in between. The story has a painted rendition of the four of you standing at a dock.
The four of us.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking
Off of his
God.
memory.
But it's a picture of us?
It's a
It's a
shitty
painting.
painting off his memory of when he told someone to commission the painting. It's very obvious that it's like a telephone. Like he told someone to tell someone to commission it, and they told him what they said of
So
how
it's
they
like
looked.
generic Birdman,
So, generic
Target,
Birdman.
generic Cube, generic stealth.
Like he looks like he lives in LA. He looks like every dwarf to ever pick up a pickaxe. You look like an eagle, not even
I
close.
look like
And he's a behemoth.
I've never had one of those.
And the story discusses how you were successful. You came out of nowhere. You were successful in solving an ancient mystery that didn't know existed, freeing a water djinn known as Amarid.
We're getting our bike permit that weekend.
Because his
It's after
influence over the town has faded, the water level receded, and the buried city, port capital of Ignatus, was undrowned.
Of course.
And it does name you by name. Because he asked, and you said, yeah, we want fame. Put our name in it, we're the Broken Bottles. So it says, members of Lucas, Molnar Snowforged, Tyrone, and Rolger. Word for word.
I'm reading my paper again. And I'm sitting there just like,
What's with the odd look, Tyrone?
The woman stands.
I'm just like,
You see her tear off a piece of parchment and stick it in the table, and then walk out of the bar.
Can I kind of like slide over and read what the parchment?
It's in at her table. She left
I'm
it when
gonna
she was seating.
stand up and go.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah, if you want to walk up to it.
I'm gonna roll.
Yeah, I
the
feel like he
newspaper.
does the thing where he's like moving, but
That's
it's like,
hilarious.
it looks like his
I love
feet
that.
aren't moving. He's just like sliding over. Da-da-na, da-da-na.
It says, don't go nowhere.
Shit.
Don't go nowhere?
Don't go nowhere.
Hey, do we all still
In
have
common.
our papers?
Oh god. I do. We do.
I have it written in a notebook
Papers.
at home.
I have it written in here.
How-
I don't know
I
if I have
can't
yours
insight,
written, but I have
like-
mine.
For Lou.
I couldn't
Oh
insight that, like,
shit! Oh
you should feel
shit!
about that.
Oh, that motherfucker does have papers! Oh shit!
You could insight her body language before she left if you really want to. You could try to.
Can I do that?
Yeah, I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it. There's one
The
time.
papers to be in Lou Rasha. You remember doing that and how we
I'm rolling
like
fucking
paid
Ben
off?
remembers.
18.
18.
Take it, baby. Take it.
Well,
Wave of recognition. Aside from that, it's
A
hard to-
wave of recognition.
that's what you saw in her. Her body language.
Was it like a like a good look or like a?
Was it like uppity or was it like
Sounds
Drew
quite
Red? Like she
Oh,
fucking
he
was
looked like,
terrified.
It was
The
a.
Tales of Fabio.
No,
They gave the
it
underdog.
was more of
Everyone
like
knows
a
Fabio.
inquiry. Like, oh, convenient. That's all I'll give
I'm
you.
going
I'll
to
be like-
stay in my seat.
The Lantern.
Oh, I mean, we got drink. We got
Well,
drinks.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna enjoy
Rover's
my
mind
drinks.
would probably be like, oh,
It just has heights. You know, that
oh,
but,
oh.
There
It's
are
not
people.
confessional, so that's how you got it.
Pussy, I'm not gonna do anything.
I'm getting some fucking lizard.
There are
I'll be a
people.
lizard tonight.
I mean, reptilian.
There are people in town who are rumoring in this tavern of all things this side of the coast. You hear hush. It. That was like a really dramatic thing I just did. I don't even know why. You would hear in passing like while you sit around. You guys said you want to sit around, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what you hear. Verex is loving it. He's not drinking. He's just like, holy shit, I can. Someone's not
Relax.
trying to kill. You know what I mean? Like
You could chill.
he's been on the road longer than
Dude, he
you
went
guys
from
have for
prisoner
this.
to fighting
yeah.
a king.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's been seeing some shit.
Yeah,
for a
He
while.
was on the road when
Hook
we
in
met
his
him
fucking chest
when he was
to
with
the
Razzle.
jungle.
Yep.
To the jungle, to
Already
fighting a
for
serpent
who knows
king,
how long.
to here.
Yeah.
So
To seeing a god and then being here.
Yeah.
How's the ale?
it's average. It definitely is very earthy, like
Oh.
overly
So it's a
earthy.
stout.
But it's not bad.
It
It's,
has-
it's just what he had on cake.
It has soil in it.
Can I now ask Verax if you know of somewhere to stay that is not there? Not that I don't trust it, but I don't trust it.
Before I answer you, keep that in mind. I will. Yeah, this is what you hear. Sorry, I got way off track.
You're good.
My bad. My
By all
bad.
means, by all means.
You hear a couple things, and though it's very obvious that this is a place to forget about the troubles of the world, you'll hear someone almost speak up as you peruse through the crowd, and someone will be like, "It's not getting any better. The outbreak." And someone will be like, "Not here, not here. This is a place for fun. Stop it." People having drinks. You hear conversations of the town never being safer. That there's nothing to worry about. You hear conversation of people wanting to blow off steam and go to the new casino that just opened down the street. You hear people wanting to make break for the border, that they don't trust, what
said-
the government.
New casino that just opened up?
That is what you hear in the crowd, yeah. You see. Sorry, you hear. You don't see anything. You hear them speaking about how, well, I don't think it's possible to traverse over the borders either. What? Is it better? And like I said, almost all these people, like 80%, are probably elven. There's the occasional, like human, half elf, the sporadic half orc. And it's not like those people that you see out of place here get any side-eyed looks. It just seems like this is, this is just that part of the city. Like they've had closed borders for so long. It's not like there's a giant, diversified people here.
Any bird people.
Aarakocras, not in this town.
Even other kinds of bird people.
Roll me a perception check.
I wonder if
I've
that
seen
guy
Kenku
fled,
before.
what was the
Yeah.
casino?
Oh my god.
Silverbeard.
No. The city where everything happened with the
Con-
casino.
The city was known as Therilin.
There.
Oh my god, I rolled
But I'm
good.
thinking
18.
18.
Holy
maybe
shit.
went there, opened up
My perception
here.
is terrible.
I'm gonna
so
give you
it's-
this just
How do
out
you
of,
get out
out
with
of
all the money in order to
retcon, to be kind.
Trust me, I'm on the same page. I'm just thinking
There's
of
none in
how.
this bar, but
Kinda
you
weird
did
that
see the
it
occasional
was opened
owlet
up, like,
on your way to the
Yeah.
tavern.
It is
Okay.
about
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
Dressed
Trust
in
me, I'm thinking the same
very
thing.
ornate robes.
Have we ever seen them?
I'm just
An
wondering
owlet?
how.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think
No.
so. Okay.
You've seen Kenku. You've seen one. No, you've seen a dead
Yeah, how do you
Aarakocra.
open one up? His shit blew up.
And that's it.
Interesting.
Do
Okay.
this.
But there was the
Horses.
occasional owlin that was here.
Okay.
How do you get the money to start?
Other than like if you're specifically looking for winged creatures, right?
Avian like.
Yeah. And I would say that there would probably be an Aarakocra in passing that you would also have seen. Like this place is definitely a more mystical
Right.
place than others.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry I wouldn't have brought. I should have brought that up earlier because I literally read in the type of people that are here. Just didn't think about it. There's no specific.
Dude, it would literally be my first time in fucking
Yeah.
2 years.
You were like, that guy's got
seeing
feathers.
someone who is like me
Yeah.
and not dead.
Yeah, you're like, that guy's got feathers.
Holy shit!
But as you hear these things, Varix just turn in and he goes, well, I suppose we could find someone to bed down for at least a night. Get some more arcane armaments before we travel through the lands. He literally, you see him like perk his head up, and he just puts his fucking bony little claw on another patron of the bar. He goes, excuse me, sir. And the guy goes, hello. Another very pale elf. And he looks at your table, and Varix goes, any recommendations on where to stay? And the gentleman goes, no, not really. And then he says, what's the word for the outside the city walls? It's not a good idea to leave if you're intending to. It's dangerous out there. More than likely. He's like, give me it, you motherfucker. Not much out there left. It's dangerous, the gods say. I wouldn't go.
I look at our table and I'm like, we are plenty dangerous.
He says, but you all seem, and then his eyes lock with you, and he goes, ugh. And he stands up and he pats himself off and leaves the bar.
Uh-oh, they don't.
Alright, come back in.
I'm gonna message him on his way out.
Sure.
I was gonna say, watch your fucking mouth.
Whoa.
You see him like,
And I'm just fucking grilling him.
and then he walks out in a much faster pace.
Yeah. You pulled out a cigar.
No, the meat stick.
Oh my god, I was like, where did that come from?
Well, you're like twirling, you're like held it like a, yeah.
Dude, it's a stogie, bro.
Fire the hole.
Dude, he was pulling hard. I'll give it to
I
him.
heard his teeth go.
Dude, he's a beast. I'll give it to him.
He's a good boy.
Listen, that dude saved my life.
I'm not telling you
Hands
no.
fucking
Yeah, I'm
down.
actually.
Turn and be like,
So-
hey man, watch what the fuck you say. I've killed so many people. I'd have no problem
I
killing
wonder what the
you.
number is.
I'm gonna lean over to
Okay.
Coffee. Do elves not like your people?
It's a long story. I'll get into it.
Hey, same
If he
here.
has a bullet, he gets snapped.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's like, ooh!
So anyway, that guy walks out after just talking to Verax, and then I tell him to go fuck himself on the way out
Classic.
the door.
Classic, dude.
You hear outside of the, it's very thin walls in this building.
Well, and they're glass, so would we still be able to just see him?
Sorta as he walks away.
It's kind of opaque.
Yeah, it's clouded, but you can see the figure, like this for sure.
Okay.
And like there's straight up trees in this fucking building. Like but you see through them for sure. You do hear
Cheater.
coming down from outside. Where is it?
I hear that? Is that what I hear?
Yeah.
I say, hey, make him invisible.
I don't have spells.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, it's been literally not a full day. Holy shit.
No, it does
I
not.
don't have spells.
Hang on.
However,
So there's people coming. is what I-
there's marching
Oh,
outside.
There's some fucking shit moving.
Marching outside. It gets closer as the footsteps approach quite rapidly. They seem to be very rhythmic and paced in their orientation. They're several seconds from the door. You do anything
I cast mislead.
on yourself?
Oh my god.
So
Here
you're
we
making
go,
a
baby.
clone?
Yeah, I go invisible, and then a clone version of me just stands up and like leaves the building.
Runs
Okay.
into the wall.
So
and
as the door opens, they fling open the door, and what you see is at least 15 guards of the city in full regalia armament, and they go like get pushed past as they stand out of the way as your clone goes, and they just look at it and they look in the tavern, and he just continues inside.
All right.
So
Listen, better safe than
I'm
sorry,
currently like
honestly.
this at the table.
And the fourth member,
if look,
wearing a tight, bracketed Commodore jacket, is the Green Dragonborn. And she goes like that to your whole table. And the guards encircle you as they march, full regalia. They're trying to fit their lances into the
I'm
building.
I'll probably have a drink. Is there,
I called it.
What
I fucking called it.
seems to be the problem?
The woman approaches. She goes, "Not at all. I was hoping it would be okay if you were to accompany us for a quick chat."
Well, I think you have the upper hand right now, so I think
You would be
we'll-
correct, yes.
Yes. So we'll join for a little chat.
Sounds phenomenal.
Taking my beer with me.
It'll be on the city, of course. As she clings 3 gold onto the tavern, onto the barkeep, she goes, "For the tankards," and bring them along then.
Thank you. And there's like, I finally have a fucking drink I just wanted in peace.
Dude, that guy had the right idea.
Okay, well,
Fucking
shit's
number
going
one.
on. I take the helmet off, and I go, the broken bottles bid you adieu, and I walk out the door. And I said it to the bard.
Roll me a performance check.
Watch this
That
one,
goes
he's gonna
so
fall.
hard.
21.
21.
Holy shit.
There's like obviously everything has gone silent because the guards walked in, and as you walk away, a giant rumble of cheers
Dude, fucking go!
emanate from the tavern as
Dude,
there
that
seems to be.
fucking
As,
blaze.
at first, there was no real gravitas to your presence, but it's very obvious that you have provided evidence to your notoriety as 15 armed escorts have asked for a meeting with you.
That's just how we do it.
Immediately, people are like, oh, cube. Makes sense.
As
Guy with bird.
As soon as all the guards like leave the table, my tankard kind of floats.
Yeah. Are you staying
and,
behind?
and then I follow.
Okay.
We got Varak still, right?
Yeah, he's with you.
Okay.
They take you to another portion of the city about 15 minutes away. The buildings seem to be... I'll get rid of the bard lively and the medium crowd. We'll put on a little bit more of this.
Hopefully they start a fucking riot in the streets to free us, dude, because we're going to jail.
They're taking the broken bottles!
They can't kill us all.
It's never us!
Can I pull out a chair?
Could you imagine? I would pay money if we could retroactively have that filmed and have that.
Dude,
memory.
I
Yeah.
wish that we.
God, I wish, dude.
Dude,
I just love that I threw
And then
my
they
nat
did, in
20.
fact, kill them all. That's what happened.
So then, if we could like hire an animator to animate all that shit.
God, that'd be so
Oh,
awesome.
fuck
You
yeah.
choking the dude out or getting behind the bar counter, and I say them or us, and I nat 20 a chair toss that knocks the dude out that you're going to steal the keys from.
And then I just drag him in there.
That would be funny if we had animated shorts.
It'd be great.
I'd pay money for that. How about we get more than 2 views on the videos first?
I agree.
Thoughts? Thoughts?
Well, alright.
I'm working on
sure.
it. I'm working on it.
Yeah, we can do that.
Alright, guys, we're gonna have to set up a bot farm.
You are escorted, and I won't make you wait for the dilly dallies. It's
About-
beautiful.
About midway through the escort, I'm just gonna like snap off the spell and just kind of beat it.
As you appear,
And I just pull him in front of me.
the group like stops immediately, and
He's with us.
He's one of us.
the lady speaks. She goes, "He is not part of the Broken Boys."
Yes, he is.
He is. New member. New recruit.
She pulls out a small pamphlet and like opens it. And, like,
The blonde one departed.
We traded the blonde one for
We found him in the jungle.
a dark one. I don't know. That's what
roll
I
me
said.
a persuasion check at advantage because you were
We
getting
traded the blonde one
Weird.
for a dark one. Crazy.
one of you. You are being assisted by both Milner and Roller. Roller.
We found him in the jungle.
Fucking bad and worse. 13.
13.
Yeah.
She looks you down. She goes, "He can stay for now." And they continue
Good enough.
marching.
That was a fucking 2 terrible rolls. Jesus.
They seem to be not fully.
We traded the blonde one for the dark one.
That's not what I meant.
But
Yeah.
But
Anyway, again, I'll kind of rush you guys through the travel. It's the same city and it's gorgeous, but you get to a portion of the city where it's much more marble. Clean stainless steel and forged iron facets adorn the homes and buildings, as there's large, opaque, and stained pieces of glass that construct a lot of the buildings in this area. You were brought into what looks like a tiny, tiny little keep. It's definitely a very noticeable landmark in this area. It's not the castle, but it is pretty close to one, but small. There seems to be people doing drills out in the front, learning to parry with blades, unarmed combat training, as well as normal strength training as they're working in groups, trying to harden their skills. You are escorted through as the woman takes you into another room, opening a large... It's already opened. It's like a drawbridge, but there's no to draw over. It's just how it's built. And you're taking into this large, kind of like a Viking long hall extent. It's like just one orifice building that the keep is kind of centered around. And this is all within the city, so it's very peculiar that this structure is here. It's kind of like if you were walking in like modern Rome and then you just took a left and there's the Colosseum. That's kind of the aesthetic that you're like. You're in these beautiful modern buildings, then you turn left and there's this like ancient stone fort that is just plucked into the middle of this metropolitan area. But you're taken through and you are then handed off, so to speak, to a male elf. Dirty blonde, long straightened hair, like crimped hair, like beautiful, very shiny. Very well manicured, and he's wearing an abundance of facial makeup. He has like little dashes, but also like to cure his complexion, so to speak. He holds his hands like this.
Didn't Keylor's heard the tale?
The Dragonborn speaks and says, "Sire, it would seem by sheer luck that they had stuck around, and I present to you the legends of the South. The broken bottles.
And a random drow.
And a random drow, and the leader of the academy. The former leader of the academy.
Merrick's just kind of like...
Who's just like, I'm here.
She takes her leave, and you 5 are left here with just this woman and 2 guards. Or just this man and 2 guards. He speaks. I am Kian Alara. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Great to meet you.
I am the Count of the city that operates under the Envoy of the South. Our forces have been spread quite thin, and when I heard but an hour ago that the Great Broken Bottles had made a presence in my city, my district, I was piqued in interest.
Can I insight check him?
Yeah, please do.
For the love of God, inside check this fucking dude.
Listen, guys. Moline's rule 1.
I
Never
can't
trust
believe it.
him. Another natural 20.
Dude!
Dude! Alright, roulette might be banned.
Roulette band.
Go.
Roulette's banned.
Go fucking gamble right now.
Yeah, hang on. Brady, we gotta
That's
take a
ins-
quick
that is
trip to the
insane.
casino.
Shit.
We're throwing it all on 0.
Oh, come on, buddy. Come on in.
Come on in, dog.
Damn.
He always beats me in the insight check. God damn it. I have a +9.
Yeah, you need to let it rip way harder than me.
Yeah, you need to roll fucking.
Dude, you should incite literally every single person that we
You're
know.
like a rabbit crossing
that
your
bard's
path.
singing a song
Insight.
about it. Let me incite that.
I also have a +9 to perception.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
my passive perception.
Anything that you have like good pluses to, you roll really poor.
I do.
It-
My passive
Curse of
perception is a
death.
+19.
It's
I
the
have a-
curse of Ben.
I have a +9 persuasion, and I just rolled a 13 on advantage.
It happens, bro.
Yeah. I rolled a
13,
4 and
13.
a 2.
To me, more often than most. But
Anything above 10, I'm happy about because
Oh,
for the
yeah.
most part, because it's above average,
Yeah.
just like my weenie.
Okay.
So it's,
He's like, wait, why'd you stop?
okay, buddy. Okay.
Wait.
yeah,
Why'd you stop?
don't overcompensate.
So do with that with what you will. Verax
Listen,
seems
you
to
gotta
single
be
tier.
keeping his mouth shut. And what's weird about it is it's very intentional. He's not out of place, but you were addressed as the Broken Bottles, and this is your meeting. He just is kind of actively removing himself from that conversation.
Cool.
And or I guess I did take my helmet off.
Yeah,
You did.
I kind of rubbed my forehead a little bit.
So,
What's going on?
Yeah, what's with the small militia taking us all the way up?
Yeah,
we're not
seemed a little
savages.
unnecessary.
Well,
We're good.
you might be a snap.
I did not mean any disrespect. I simply was trying to show you a warrior's welcome.
oh, fair enough. Okay.
Molnir's like,
You were not
Listen,
clasped in chains, I hope.
No. Just
No,
whenever
the
we
last
see,
time that we had an armed escort like that,
usually whenever there's more than 5 guards telling you to come with you,
Well,
not that great.
I suppose I will make myself more clear, but before I do, perhaps I could beg you a single question for us, an answer for a single question.
For your questions. I don't know if you notice the look of us in the state.
Indeed.
We're in the middle of a lot.
hey man, we got a lot going
We're
on.
in the
right
middle
now.
of a lot.
Roll me a persuasion.
And
We
if
kind of
I
got a lot going on.
could ask you, Before you ask us a question, which I kind of already am assuming what you're going to ask us, can I clean up?
How about you hear me out for but a couple moments, and I will give you proper roomage and dormitory facilities. He looks past you to the guard, and he like literally goes like, and the guard's like, and he's like,
Very nice.
Can I do one of these?
and he's
I
like,
kind of like scratch my head and like look around. I'm like,
Dude,
well,
Dude, me and you have seen him do this at least a dozen times.
this
So
is
we're
the
both
first
just
time.
Like,
This is the first time
I think
I've
I've
seen
ever
this,
seen-
and he's doing it to the count. And
I've
I'm
never
just like,
I feel like he hasn't rubbed his neck though.
I feel like you probably would if this is like what they do. I don't know.
I just look at him like,
Whatever.
goddamn Goliath.
We've seen him spit his hand and shake off
Yeah.
100 people's
Yeah.
hands.
The neck
So
thing,
me and
the
you
neck
don't-
thing
do
threw me
not-
off.
we're
That's
not
what I'm
fixed.
saying. The neck thing threw me off. I'm like, all right, this is normal, and I see you do the neck thing. I'm like, ew. Do it.
let me say that I am honored by your presence. However, I have a single question for you. In your travels, from what I've heard from the tales, both in the bards and word of mouth, you know, the Titan game victors, as they say, and though we are at proclaimed war with the capital and of Tol'Dalair, that is no small feat. Are you aware of what has been happening in our folly? Are you aware of the predicament in Therowen?
We've heard tales.
Roll me a deception check.
I don't know.
Please.
I feel
Listen,
like,
you rolled the insight. I'll let you talk.
I feel like it's okay to come. I don't know.
He knows more because he rolled the insight.
Is that
So
right?
I'm gonna,
True.
I'm gonna let him.
We've heard tales.
Yeah.
23.
Fuck.
Holy fuck.
Oh my god.
No more, dude. That roulette die might get banned. By the
Okay,
end of the night,
Dude, the funny
Yeah, that
thing is,
thing
I
is
was
hot.
spinning it and I didn't even roll over 10 before the session started. I was
Before
fucking
we started
with
session,
You got-
I was rolling 1s, 2s.
Oh,
Not all out.
that thing is hot.
It's hot.
It is hot.
it. It is molten
Um,
lava.
He goes, well, then you are graced by good fortune. Unfortunately, there has been a tear, a rift, if you will. Another plane has decided that it wants what our plane has to offer. Aside from that, that is not exactly important. What is pertinent is, I'm sure you've heard of the stalemate that has now turned into a declaration of war with our partners to the south.
I heard
yeah.
that.
Yeah, we've heard.
I
I've heard of that
understand.
before.
I'm just like, I don't know shit about any of this.
I understand that though you've
You're in
hailed
the
from the
book.
south, and that you have done great deeds in both the Ziegman Kingdom and the Tol'Dalair province, but that you fly under no banner other than your own. And Varric's kind of like, yeah, that's right. He kind of like,
Like, absolutely.
Listen,
Oh,
whoever's,
yeah.
whoever's paying us more gold, man. Straight up.
I would not have resorted to seeking the counsel of any mercenary if I wasn't utterly desperate. Whether your decision is to assist or not, I come bearing employment. Our hands are tied as we fight.
Dude, Yoshi is a part of the campaign.
As-
Yoshi joins the party.
As we fight tooth and nail on the southern border, a bigger threat looms. Therowen has almost fully collapsed. Our quarantine teams are not able to stem the demonic purge that comes through.
Is that the outbreak that I've heard whispers about as we were wandering through town?
Tyrone is literally like, it hasn't fully collapsed. Like, what the fuck?
We have been fighting.
It's still there? The fucking city is still there?
I like how you're like, we've heard tales, but then he's like, the city's like almost collapsed, and you're like,
Like, you're fucking kidding me. You got me, dude.
Yeah,
I
honestly.
cannot believe that.
I
Tough bitches.
have heard, well, I've heard of many mercenary tales of many different groups, but yours have been around for a while, long enough for me to be in my desperate state that the recounts are true. Aside from your under the earth brethren, I am honored to have you in our court today. Aside from your friend, the rest of you bear the marks as described at the broken bottles. And I would be remiss if I lose this opportunity to perhaps hire a soldier, if you will.
Soldier for...
Before you speak, know that my favor incurs a great cost. 10,000 gold.
You know what? when you word it like that.
Hang on. So he said. He's honored to have us, except for the.
No, he said you're all familiar except for him.
Oh, okay,
but
okay.
he is still honored to
Okay,
have
okay.
his under the earth.
I was about to be
brethren.
like, dude, fuck yourself.
So, 10,000 gold.
Well,
I
Are you talking
understand you speak
Oh,
of
I see what you got.
being
I thought he was like.
expedient
Except for
in
you.
your
Except for you, doctor.
current predicaments, but unfortunately our problem cannot wait.
What is Varrix's face right now?
He literally is just
Like-
vibing. Stone cold. Looks emotionless in every way. Catatonic, if you will.
Okay, describe the 10,000 gold's a lot, and I'm assuming that means certain death.
Well, we have our best minds and best warriors on the forefront of not the war, but of the rift. The scar, as it's called. And it is rapidly spiraling out of control. The sooner that we could get it under wrap, the easier it would be both for our kingdom to survive, but for us to focus on the war effort. And I will not lie, obviously you would be assisting the king and the crown in attempting to win over Tordelair. But I hope you understand that I respect you as flying under no banner, as you find yourselves in our city, on our lands, with favor. We need someone to assist the regiment of elite soldiers that have been stationed outside of there in rectifying the problem with the rift.
Oh my god.
However, take some time. Think about it. I have answered and asked my one question, and you have been most forthcoming. Please, I will have my compatriots here take you to a dormitory so you can wash and take but a moment to clean yourself up. I just ask that before you depart, you let me know whether you would like or dislike assisting us in this time of need.
Of course.
And would like to line your pockets.
We will.
He bows.
I'll do a Goliath fucking bat. I don't know.
I'll
Okay.
probably have my tankard be like.
I would look at Varax. What does Varax do?
Varax it's almost like he's in a meditation. He's just breathing, unblinking. And he looks at you, like you turn to him, and he sees you, and he goes,
Well, I mean,
I shake my
Here's
head
the-
and I'm like,
completely out
Okay.
of character. Varax got what we were after to cure the Scroll Keeper.
What he thinks.
What he
may
thinks will do
cure
it.
the scroll keeper.
yeah, but
It's
from-
also his.
also
fucking
from
thing.
what we know, we
That is
couldn't
true.
get to the academy because
Shit's locked.
Alright,
up.
shit was hitting
the
fan
guard
at the
approaches you
academy.
Yeah.
and escorts you up 2 flights of stairs on a spiraling tower to a large room, about the size of this, about 25 feet by 15 feet. And it has cots, but it's private, and it has 2 washrooms, and it has flowing water. It's like manual pumped water into a basin that you then pour on yourself.
I immediately just go to the washroom and I just start
Yeah.
clean my. I just full arm.
There's
shit
foot
on, I
lockers.
just start dumping water.
There's like,
Is there more than one, or is it just
It's-
one? And
there's-
wait,
there's
oh,
two.
There's 2.
yeah,
Probably
there's 2,
all
and then aside from it being like, oh, medieval fantasy level, there's like baby powders, like there's like ointments and things that are just spirally placed like in the washrooms. Seems like probably whoever does stay in here under regimen of the count is maybe higher up. There's like all sorts of weird shit, hair gels, you name it. There's weird stuff up here. And it does seem to be a room that was retrofitted for your company. Like they probably kick someone out of here. They're like, get out, go, shoot.
The broken bottles are coming.
Now get! And then,
Go on, damn!
Yeah.
Go on, boy. Go on, go out. Go outside, nerd. Go on, get.
So, but yeah, otherwise you know, can take this time. The walls are closed behind you. There's no other humanoids or persons other than you 5 in this room. And you can take that time to talk amongst yourselves. Or do whatever you want.
Okay, so
I'm gonna eat candy.
no.
A man that powerful
Nope.
could help me out with my goal a lot. If we get on his good side.
True, but so could a city of wizards. Have you ever heard of that? City of wizards.
I already helped the City of Wizards. I almost gave up my life for the City of Wizards.
The
3
city of
times.
wizards is still falling apart. It's not done. We got something for that.
Theron
mission.
was pretty.
Here's the thing, though, is that if that rift doesn't get closed, that shit spreads probably everywhere.
Here's
That's
my
the
thing.
problem.
That's the
Is
thing. Is
that
this
the rift will spread everywhere?
The
but
rift
that
is
if
like
we
an
close
end
the
of the
rift,
world.
then they can devote more of their man forces to Total Air. I don't.
Here is
I know.
my
It's
thing.
it's a fucking.
That's the kingdom of Rasha. This is where you are.
Yeah.
This is where Theron is.
Yeah.
This is the academy.
Yeah.
It's literally like we can stop by the academy on the fucking way.
I'll turn to barracks.
Yeah. I'm with you. I didn't think this would be so quick.
It's not going to be quick. Trust me. There's plenty.
Oh,
of
I
time
know.
for this.
I know.
Would helping the academy with what they have going on right now, would they then be able to help in the effort of like repelling the demons flooding into the land?
I can say this. It is obvious that though we answer to no kingdom, we are a neutral party. Going forward, something will have to be done. If I can convince my kin and the people under me to contribute to the effort, I will do so. However, I would like to also state that I have my own quest. And you have done everything in your power to assist on said quest. You owe me no fealty. Your blood oath you've described to me is rectified.
It is.
But that's kind of our mission, too, is to help Skullkeeper.
I want to see this through. Is the thing.
I honor.
But I also want to make sure that the land that we're in doesn't get turned to rubble
Yeah.
by.
I
us
appreciate
humans.
your honor, and I will have you by my side if it was up to me. Do know that our compatriotism has been vital for my success, but I can't promise anything. I hope. Like I said, a problem of this stature and magnitude would have to be confronted, but it is not technically the Academy's responsibility.
Yeah, but it seems like from when I talked to Dominus on the phone, it seemed like the Academy was dealing with this issue already, and that's why we weren't. That's part of the reason why we weren't able to go straight there.
It's very likely, yes.
So would it not be a priority already?
I am
On
no
top of-
longer the headmaster. The priority at the Academy as of now is to shun me, get rid of Dominus's power, somehow kill the Scorekeeper for whatever purposes that may be. If they're in shambles, how can they help?
Do you think that they open the rift?
That type of level of magic would require an immense amount of
Well,
force.
who's the most powerful out of between not you and Dominus?
Well,
Probably. Be my guess.
Well, in the academy.
in
I'm
the
not
Academy.
Lucas. I can't talk about this.
There are several who know different types of magics. Some that specialize in temporal magics, others in combat and illusion.
Is there anyone that specializes in temporal magic that doesn't like you?
Off mind, not that something comes. No. However, again, I'm speaking surely on desperation, and I want that to be clear that I'm doing my best to speak in vague riddles because I want your decisions and your fate to be your own. You owe me nothing. No matter what, I will succeed or I will die trying. And if you are there to bleed along with me, I am honored and thankful. The rest is yours to choose. I hope that they make a chance and an effort to assist in the rift, and I'm sure they've already taken their precautions to do so. But
Can I-
it is not my say.
Can I open the door and go back downstairs?
You open the door and there are two guards there.
Can
And
you-
one looks at you and goes, yes?
Can you fetch the fellow we just talked to?
The count.
The count?
Have you made a decision?
Not yet.
I can get him, but he is a busy man. Are you sure that you wish
I'm
to?
pretty sure this is pretty important.
I will get him right away. And he skedaddles off and closes the door and
If there
leaves
was
you
a
in.
way to make peace between the two kingdoms, 'cause
That's what I'm saying. That's the big goal. Like, if we can stop, because if that keeps opening, that means the Golden Mountains get fucked. That means Total Air gets fucked. That means everything gets fucked.
That means that. Like,
And everything we've done means nothing.
I don't mean to be selfish here, but
Brady.
there,
And that also means
if there's
you
no
get
if there's no overworld
Yeah, there's
to
no
bring my
Rasha.
people to, there's no point.
Like
There's no
Rasha
point.
At any point. There's probably
That's that's the shitty part.
In the past,
Yeah.
But I'm thinking is if we can convince this dude, if there's enough time
When-
for us to rectify Magic School and bring
Rasha-
Magic School to here to help close it.
tried to expand.
Yeah.
They originally tried to expand east, into the waste, and they realized no
I
one
feel like
was
that's the
on
move.
land.
I think it is too. I don't know.
Try
I don't
to
know how
go
much time
north.
we have.
That's the other part.
And they're like-
We have no idea how much time
And
we have.
you
The
guys
scar
are-
could- the scar.
It wasn't
Open up
just
more.
you, and because the Gravitar Dominion
And
is more
fuck
so like
everything.
free land. The
And
they're
then
called
it's
the
more of an
bastions.
issue
That's
when
what
it
like
goes
really
over.
matters.
Or we
is
close it
Banjul
now.
Kingdom, the Great Bastion.
And go to the
That's
school.
the
But the
border
school
land.
is
The
also
mountains
more
as a whole are
important
your
at
people.
the
You
same
guys
time. I don't
technically
know.
rule over them.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know
when
where
they started
they're
approaching,
going.
you guys
This
were
is
like,
the most amount of
They're
money
basically
ever.
landing in.
This is the most amount of-
And I
don't even
still
know.
want to go to the school.
The 10,000
They're like,
gold
"Bam,
is
bam,
they started
Yeah.
taking land, and you guys were like, oh,
It's
like,
the
you know,
it's
they
the
come over
scar
here,
that's
whatever.
opening
Like we
and
don't.
could
There's
fuck
not
the
even
entire
at least
campaign
in your time there
and
wasn't
everything
enough
we have
border.
worked for.
Like you can just walk
If
in
that thing
between them.
opens.
But now there has to be because of.
And then time happened, and
If
time
we don't
happened, and
close
time
it,
happened. And
we're
then
all
she heard
fucked.
stories, and then they
But
try and be like,
if we
hey,
don't
we're
go
gonna
to the
take some of this,
school,
and you guys were like,
everything
try.
that we have done for the past year means
Try.
nothing.
And there was like some
Because
very
Varric should go
small
alone
conflicts
and
that set precedent of like it ain't worth it for either side.
Varric should
Because
go
you guys
alone
have
and
literal
die.
war machines.
That
and they have
fucking
an
bottle
insane
of god
race of
blood
aged people that have
That
been
is
training their whole lives.
what we think
Yeah.
could
It
save
was a
Skull Creeper
bloodbath.
disappears.
So
You
they
have it.
tried. There wasn't like an
Exactly.
invasion. There was
Like,
never
what?
declared war.
Like,
They
what?
came in. You guys were like, no. You guys had like a Gettysburg fight, and then
I don't
everyone
know.
was like, all right,
That's
all
why
right.
I'm like,
All right,
I mean,
this
see
isn't worth
this
it.
yeah.
This isn't worth the manpower.
So that
Yeah,
I
for both
know.
sides. Like you guys were like,
So
we're
you
the
know what
opposite. We're
happens.
So
Russia,
that I
and you're
know
And
the
it's
things
been
are
our
okay.
mission for
And they were
over
like,
a
fuck,
year.
you're Russia, and it ain't worth it, we're
This
going
is
back.
everything
And
that
that's
we
like,
why
I don't
the
like
last
His character
100 years-
retired because we went to the islands.
Ish.
I don't
And you
wanna
would know
jump
all
ship
that
now.
verbatim.
No,
Your character would.
But I
But
don't. That was not
So
like
they're-
me
so the
being
Empire's
there.
just
That was
focused on
like what
That's what
I-
Lucas would
that
have
was
done.
what
But I'm
Lucas
saying-
did.
Like they're like 1939.
dumped a
Germany.
character.
Not
Kinda.
not like
A route
the
that
bad
we thought
sense,
was
but
more
like
important.
okay, we want to expand.
You've been
And
in
if we
Russia a
go
little
there
bit, so
and
you know,
don't
so
close
that
the
their
scar,
their
the scar fucking
overall
opens up and fucks
land
everything.
isn't as gratuitous as the rest of the
Everything
kingdom.
means zip.
You know
This
that
is like-
80
this is
like
like
60% of their land
End
is
of
the
the
Howling
world
Spires,
scenario,
which
or
is
end of the academy
Utah.
scenario.
It's
Which
just
could
cliffs
be
and
an-
rocks.
It could be
okay,
both,
so
though.
they
That's
don't
the
have any
problem.
Yeah,
could
so
be-
basically,
like, if the academy falls apart,
From like
and
literally
the academy is literally like
here
The
over
academy
is the
literally
only lush
is
part.
part
This
of the
entire
government in
section is the
every
Howling
city.
Spires.
they
Yeah, it's
govern
just rock.
every
We walked
city
through there.
Yeah.
Let's get to
along
the-
with the
correct.
city leaders.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they
it's
tried
like,
to go
if
this
the
way, but
academy
that's the
gets
way.
fucked,
There's nothing.
Every-
that
There's
has so
sand
many
and
effects,
dirt.
like down
There's
the line
oil
for
that's like
every
2,000
individual
years
city.
out.
Yeah, and so this
That
is like
could be
lush
the
and
end of
beautiful,
fucking
and it's a
everything
capital
for all we
kingdom.
know.
But out of all the kingdoms, they are the smallest. Even
That's
though
what
they
I'm like,
probably
I don't
have
give
the
a fuck
highest
if they take
population
over
aside from
Toledo.
Zeegman.
I don't care if Total Air over.
They're
Yeah, I
a
don't
giant.
really care.
Russia is
I
a giant
have
zoo.
zero
Yeah,
problems
absolutely.
with who rules who.
They are by
I
far
don't-
the smallest
Roger does
kingdom.
not
They
give
have
a
this
fuck.
little sliver. Tol'Air is
Tribe
giant.
thing with people
Gravitar's about
who
the same, but
tribe.
like I said, a lot of your guys'
I don't
people
care.
they're
As
called
long
the
as
Bastions.
The scar doesn't
That's
open
what
up
they're
They're in
and
the mountains.
murder
There's not-
everyone. in
There's like
the
you
entire
know like
continent.
maybe tribe. There's
Yeah,
obviously
if
like
we-
tribes.
There's
out
definitely
there.
hit it on the
Not
way.
even villages,
Sure.
probably bigger. You know,
Yeah.
towns for
I don't
sure.
give a shit.
Lots of them sporadically.
Maybe
And that then this
But
map
I would
only
like
shows
to
the,
get to the academy.
you know,
Bigger
Good
towns.
Yeah, and then Zeegman's got a giant population, but that's because
crazy.
it's the only
Half
city
of at least.
or only country that's in like true peacetime.
The
That's
southernmost.
This, yeah,
You're
Zeegman
sending
down
us
here,
to
where you guys
do
started.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
saying
Tol'Air's
that
giant,
you
and so
can
over the last years
retire
they're like,
from
we're
it.
just gonna
You pay
take
me
some of
half
Tol'Air's
the
run.
I
And
feel
then
like
nobody fucks with islands over here because
We
we're so
feel
rich
that.
that it's like
if we feel like we want to
They're-
accept it,
we'll
that's
pay
what
you not
we'll
to go to war with us.
basically,
Here's the thing, we kind of have
well,
to. But it
you
just
guys never
depends on
really
when you
asked.
do it.
We absolutely.
but you would have picked up a
But
little bit.
it's depending on
If
when
anyone
you
were
do
to
it.
try to
Do we
start a
do it after
conflict
the
with the
college?
Concord,
Do we do it on the
they
way to
would be
college?
I also
literally
like to go to-
I
destroying
also
their
feel like the
economy
longer we
and
wait on
commerce.
this,
oh, because
If they, if they declared
Yeah, but
any
the worst thing
form
would probably
of,
get at the
so
college,
they're basically
too.
like exempt.
Exactly,
From any,
that's what I'm saying. I
yeah,
don't
that's
like
why they're a
What if it goes
privately owned
far
country.
and
They don't
whatever
fly
time
under
it
no
goes,
banner
stop
other than the
and
council,
Close the fucking thing.
the Concord. Because if you're like, give me your shit, they're like,
makes the
okay,
college
we're gonna
easier.
embargo you.
What
And
if
then
it makes it
total
hard
error,
because we didn't go
You
there?
can't do
You
fucking
get
shit.
drowned out by attrition.
We don't
Yeah.
know.
Like,
Yeah, try me.
listen.
I have trade
We are here,
treaties with every
and the
country,
college is
and
there.
you're
We're
gonna yell at me.
fucking right
I'll
at
just
the
buy
doorstep,
soldiers.
baby.
Try. I don't care if we're this
I will
big.
buy your kingdom.
It's
over.
a 10-minute
So,
stroll
and you
down
got
this
that
fucking
kind of
street at this
feeling when you were there, but I would love to give you more lore, but your character
No,
doesn't know.
that's fine.
Yeah, your character doesn't know all of that, but you got the feeling.
Are they
It
doing
is
the last
funny
one?
that like an invading force comes over
They
the
got
waters,
it, dude. They
and
fucking
they're like,
got
"Hey,
it.
dude, I'll pay you
They don't
$10,000 to go that
Yeah.
way."
Very
And they're like,
They barely
It's
even
literally
liked
like,
us. They
oh,
didn't mind
we want to
us.
attack your kingdom
I
because
had
it's small.
a fucking
So what we
paper
have
that
to
said
do is
you
we
have
have
to
to
be
get
like,
a
here's the
boat
thing,
full of
though,
200
here's the
people,
thing.
and we have to send them over the ocean
Verax was
to a
already
kingdom that is
not
all
with the
port
school,
cities.
and he's the one
How
who
are they gonna
signed
dock?
my invite. And they
To the
said,
people that have, you've seen literal swivel cannons and mortars
signed the
on
invite?
10 port
We
cities.
have to honor it.
So if
Even
you
though
and if you
he
did
literally
make it,
isn't here anymore.
and then they would just retaliate. They would go, cool, you're embargoed. We're gonna cause a treaty with Vistar. So now Zeegman Kingdom has no economy at all.
I
and we're
would
just
at
gonna
least like
have
to
them
be
embargo
careful
their
of
trade
what-
on you too.
"Yeah."
Cool. Now you're fucked. So you got the feeling
that's
that
what we do
no one,
next,
no one's gonna fuck
the
with it.
Concord is exempt from
Academy
any
police
like
for the
Geneva
love of
Convention
God.
or anything or Switzerland
I
talks.
would love to see this.
No one fucks with them. They just leave them alone and ship all their shit there.
I just want to make sure because
There's consequences either way.
That was a lore dump, and I'm
well, I
sorry.
feel like
No,
we
that's
talked to
fine.
him. Okay,
It's good. It's
We-
good for me
We'll
to
take
know
it.
for
Yeah,
my
well, we
character.
need to stop by the academy on the way.
That influences my decision a lot.
During
I
your
feel like we
like
pitched that.
your
Again,
time,
I have no
there have
problem
been, like,
going there.
skirmishes,
If we can
just
but
hit
all
the
those
academy
like
on
giant like they came
I-
onto your land and they got cut
I
down
agree.
was probably your fault.
That is the thing
like
that we have been
100
working
years
on.
ago. You were born, obviously.
And if we
We
get
did it on the way, and then
You
still
weren't,
go
like,
there.
in
I
the
have no
force.
problem
And
going
if the
there.
academy can
I was
have
only
this,
saying
that
that's
makes it so much better.
That's what I'm hoping.
Do what you want, but you
He's
do
like,
know
hey,
you do know these
if
things.
we can like
And it's not like they were like colonize.
Give the man
They're like we deserve
the
more.
medicine,
We're huge.
maybe
We're
he
giant.
knows.
Yeah.
We need to move out.
Maybe he has
you
an
guys won't
idea
give
of
us land
who
to the
in
south,
the college
so we're gonna take it.
is trying
And then
to
they
fuck
went
with
north,
people.
and you guys were like,
because he literally knows
You wanna
fucking
fuck with us?
everything.
yeah.
There's no-
Here's a fucking
And you would know the
trebuchet.
poison.
And
Here's a ballista that has 10 pounds of TNT on the tip. And you guys can hold out in the mountains. They
We hit it
can't.
with, we hit it with a chicken jacket.
the way the
Yeah.
Fucking ballistic.
I probably
You
drowned
know
out all that
something
RP over
about
there
the
too.
academy,
I don't feel bad. I was
you give a
shouting
shit
so
about
much.
it.
I think they know my
And that
choice.
like this
Yeah.
fucking crazy almighty wizard.
All right.
Okay.
But he
Is
hears
the
about this
fucking-
rift
You
from
are-
another
I'm
dimension.
going
It's
to
wizard
give my
Sears
input
wizards.
because Brady gave me a lore dump, which
Okay.
I totally needed.
Go for it.
Fuck this guy. I don't care.
I didn't even say.
I really don't care.
Unless, Brady, what did you fucking
Literally nothing.
unless
you tell him?
unless peace is leveraged, I don't want it.
Unlike the last time where I'm a little stickler DM, you guys aren't on a time crunch. The NPC was like, you guys got all night.
So we're
Molier
talking.
doesn't like
Okay, let me tell you.
war between Tol'Air and Rasha. I could care less if Rasha and Tol'Air exist independently, but the fact that they're at war and he specifically phrased, "Hey, deal with this so we can send more men over." Into
He did
Tol'Air."
say that. He
I
did say
don't. Molier probably would have been like, "Ooh, no, kill yourself."
Yeah, that does make that makes me feel like we're more of like a fucking political piece of like, hey,
And I don't.
take care of this so we can focus on what
We've
counts.
been
That's
a
really
political
what
piece
fuck.
too much, and I'm done with it.
Here's what we kind of agreed on.
Sure.
Sort of. Semi.
Sure.
There's consequences either way. If we
Yeah.
go to the scar first and try to close it,
Like the rift, yeah.
It's probably
Whatever.
going to be easier.
it might be easier, but we also have no idea what the fuck happens at the college, and Verax might die. If we go to the college first and try to solve that riddle,
College first.
and say we might be able to get the college to help us,
Because
the rift will be harder and more shit will be there.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I
But-
think we can have more forces because remember that the Skull War only broke out whenever the Scroll Keeper was sick.
Exactly. That's
So
Holy fuck.
I
Mjolnir's pulling. Oh my god. He's
Listen,
putting the pieces together.
it's almost like Mason hasn't had beers in 2 months, and then suddenly when he has beers, I'm a fucking
As the shouting
mathematician.
comes to a close, there's a.
I open the door.
You see the gentleman that you'd spoke to just moments previous. Sorry, my throat's already getting scratchy.
I walk over. Is there chairs?
In your room?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
grab a chair and I just slide it.
And he pulls it up and he sits and he crosses his legs very. This is not the right word. He's a very effeminate
Yeah.
person as he like presents himself.
We all pull up a chairs in a
And he
circle.
like lays his hands one in another.
And
Yes.
So what even caused this war to begin with? I guess is my question as an outsider looking in. Which thank you for first one to treat me with kindness in this full city. I appreciate you a lot. But
That is unfortunately a giant question. What has led to Tordelaire wanting to strike first has got everyone's mind in a tizzy, but
so, told the lair struck first.
indeed.
Can I once again?
I was gonna say inside check. God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool.
This one's actually I'm really curious about this.
Are you inside checking?
25.
Both of you guys.
25.
Both.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay.
I got a +9, baby.
I'm really curious about
Another
this.
great roll.
It is a great roll. You're
18.
welcome.
Oh, well, fuck it. If you both passed, I'm not gonna fucking.
Cool. Sweet, dude.
Yeah. He seems to believe what he's saying. Seems stalwart and confident in his statement.
That is
Excuse me.
You've put us kind of in a, well, you haven't, but your task has put us in a bind. And I go, I don't know if you know who this is, And I point to Verax.
He looks over him and he goes, I recognize the attire, though there are many faces of the Academy that I have not interfaced with.
We have been through hell and back to hell.
Mm-hmm.
Took a stroll,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're back.
Mm-hmm.
And our mission of
Mhm.
going through hell is right down the street.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there. And I pull up the map and I point to the college.
We plan on going back to the academy. That was our
But this isn't
original
a
destination.
no. This is how much time do we have?
I will say that it is okay if you choose to follow your own path. But time is of the essence. People die by the hour.
The rift is as important to us as everyone here, because obviously the rift opening means shit for everybody.
I will not try to convince you. You are honorable men. And he also notates to Verax. And I'm sure I will hear word, hopefully, from the Academy soon under advisement. And Verax kind of like, his brow kind of like shifts away.
I'm like, okay.
However, as I said, I will not try to convince you. If you have other means, then those are your other means.
Here's the thing, though.
If I employ anyone under the banner of Rasha for a hefty sum, for war profiteering of 10,000 gold, I expect there to be no priority other than the task at hand. Do I make myself
Because
clear?
10,000 gold is a lot of money.
That
10,000
is
gold's a lot of money,
fuck
but we
ton
think
of
that
money.
we think the answer to
We can buy a
your
boat.
problem also might be at the academy.
Hey, pretty. Is it cool if I step out for a second?
I don't care. I can wait. I'll wait.
We'll pause.
Yeah, this is just too big for me to take to rob this from anybody.
Yeah.
So how we feeling?
Dude, I'm fucking.
You're stressing me out, motherfucker.
I am really nervous because there's a giant rift.
Dude, when you go
to
back
hell.
to the video, we had a full political campaign.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh,
I
here
know.
we go.
I'm so sorry that I probably talked over it, and I'm gonna keep it all in. But
Yeah. No, I.
because he asked a question, I was like, "That's a really good question."
It's gonna sound like
And then I
cannon
lower
fodder in
dumped.
the mic.
Yeah. Because
Oh,
I had
God.
some questions about how Molnir would feel about, Rasha.
That's a good question.
Because
That is
that's
a-
going to
How would
influence.
Molnir feel?
I dislike him, but not as much as I once thought that I did.
See, because we were talking, and I and him and Ben agreed. Well, because Ben, his character doesn't give a fuck. That I don't give a shit who rules who. I give a shit if that scar opens up and fucks the entire continent.
I agree with that. I think Molnir disapproves of war.
Of course.
I think that's the main stipulation that he's thinking about, and that's why I'm saying that. Mason thinks war is fucking sick as hell. Dude, you're
really
saying
hope-
Private Ryan, dude, sick.
There's
I really
consequences
hope
either
this
way.
works.
If we close
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rift, there's consequences.
I mean,
if
it
we
looks
don't close
cool.
it,
obviously
there's
I'm
bigger
very dim because of
consequences.
light, but I like it being dim. It's a lot easier on the
think-
eyes. You turn that light on, it's a fucking flashbang, dude.
Turn the light on
It's
real
gonna
quick,
suck, 'cause
Roland.
I
Roll
disagree. I agree with you, but I think Molnir.
I think it
Really?
Was,
Yeah.
I
That's
do
a crazy
think that,
statement.
I do think that it was kind of a fucking crazy idea to just be like, yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
You guys heard of it? Well, it's crazy. He believed you with a fucking 23 or whatever.
I think we should.
I
tell
think
him.
that
I don't
that
think
we
it would
should-
really harm us.
The homeboys offered us fucking 10,000 gold.
What's
Here,
he gonna do?
I got this. So what were we talking about?
Hey,
Come
we
back.
were there when the demon outbreak happened, and we ran.
Well,
What
because
were you doing there? We
Okay.
blew up a casino.
We didn't blow up a casino.
We don't
Well-
tell him that.
We don't tell him that.
We don't fucking
To break
tell him
out,
that part.
they were held as captive.
You were present during, but that's
Okay, the
Yeah.
thing that I was saying to him before
yeah.
we paused
Mhm.
was
the guy that we encountered in the basement was a fucking psychotic weird.
we think the academy might be able to help because obviously this demon outbreak is happening all across the continent. It's affecting
So you're
way
saying
more
you
than
think
just
it's
you.
weird as
The
well.
I'm saying that
academy
there's someone else, and it just so happens
is
that
having
as
some
soon as he
issues, too.
escaped, that happened.
That may be the case, and I hope that the academy can help. But understand that my employment is under a very specific set of circumstances. If you believe that it will help me and you are going to take that path, and it does in the end, I will be very grateful for it. But this is an upfront offer from the envoy herself on behalf of me, the Count, to commiserate with Rasha become a hero to our kingdom and line your pockets in the process.
See, I don't.
The first thought in Tyron's head is, I don't give a fuck if I'm a hero in your kingdom.
Yeah, I don't.
dude. I'm a
he
hero.
does.
I'm a hero of the people. All right.
But here's the thing.
Yeah, they were singing
Our
my
only
name.
They call me
problem-
the people's
Our
champ.
only real problem with Rasha is that we can't fucking move around. Like, they're like papers, write the fuck down. If we're heroes in the kingdom, we can just be like,
I'm
"Go to the
sure
broken bottom."
It already seems like we're heroes like across the land. They're fucking singing about us in bars.
They did sing about you.
Honestly,
So I feel like we won't have that massive of issues already
You're
now.
gonna tell him?
I think it's the wise thing to do. I genuinely
I think-
I really don't have an issue with it. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
thought it was crazy to lie.
I did think you were gonna
So-
tell him, and you didn't.
I know my compatriots said that we didn't know anything about Theron, but we were there when it fell. We were worried that there will be repercussions on our end.
Why keep this? Roll me persuasion check.
Shit.
And I'll say your other city wasn't very friendly to us.
Most of the
Yeah, this continent hasn't
it
been
was
very friendly to us.
during whenever the
The
war
whole
broke out.
world
and it
hasn't
was-
really been very friendly to us.
It's true, but especially this fucking continent.
Persuasion. 19.
These people have not liked the broken bottles.
19 total.
19. He looks up and down. Says, then maybe hope is lost. If you were there, and the threat loomed too great,
We didn't know what to do.
then
We know how to
perhaps
spell slot.
The problem was we were trapped in the casino in Thailand. They held us in that building. Whatever it was came out of that rift, and it was every man for himself. There was no organization. Now that we understand what kind of threat is looming over Thailand, there may be something there. But at the time, there was a lot of commotion. We were, tired, distraught, not prepared. We can go into this thinking we're prepared this time. We know what we're facing at this point. We've seen it firsthand. Another question for you is, we heard rumors of a new casino opening.
That's their one.
The gentleman, I know this is gonna sound weird. Just hear me out. The gentleman that owned the casino in Theron, we believe had something to do with the Rift's opening. Would you know who owns this new casino that opened in Russia?
roll me a persuasion check.
He just pitched the most insane theory ever.
Dude, it's a game theory, bro.
It's definitely a fucking theory.
Dirty, nasty,
He
slutty
stands
twat.
up, and you see there's a little slight jitter to his movements. He says, my confidence does not bode well with the success of moving forward.
Since we're spilling beans, we traveled with a man from. What's the name of the city?
That one was Justine.
We were in Justine.
The Nomad.
And we traveled with the Nomad on a quest to investigate these rifts.
You see his brow tighten, his veins kind of bulge.
We closed the rift.
He cups his face. He goes, and what's of the Nomad?
We do not know where he is.
There was a portal within, and once he ventured in, the portal had closed. We have not seen him since.
So,
That was a number of months ago.
could it be
now.
possible to close this rift from the inside as well?
Perhaps I have made a mistake.
We would like to see the rifts closed just as much as you. And we are willing to go through hellfire and fury to close them, to save the success of the world.
Here, I mean,
I think you need a two-pronged front.
I
think
will
we
make
need-
my intentions as clear as they can. You seem of noble bunch. I am fearful that if the invasion happened under your watch, that perhaps a re-entry is not so easily quiet as I thought. But regardless, I am already taking a large danger, a large risk by even sharing any form of the war front and information about my kingdom and how it plans to move forward with both the southern border and the Scar. I understand that negotiation is important. Do you seek to travel under the care of the Coven to the Scar to close it or not?
Tarwin looks at Verax.
No.
No, we're not fucking.
No.
We're not talking to Verax.
I'm not gonna talk to him. I
He's
just
just-
want to look at him. I just want to look at him.
He stands up, bro. He's dripped out like
Well-
Willem Dafoe.
Let's put it to a group vote.
The offer still stands, though it's obvious we'll need to come with more reinforcements, but I cannot wager my kingdom's success on what you believe to be proper war tactics. I have my advisors, and they have advised me that this is the path.
Have
Do
you
you-
seen what's out there?
I have heard reports, yes.
Have you seen it with your eyes?
I have not left the city.
I opened the bag.
So
At this
They
point,
were
Fucking drop it.
I opened the bag.
the monsters were like building tall, correct?
One that you saw was at least 40 feet.
They were literally walking through buildings, and these guys.
I pull out all the trophies from the fucking the
Bahaneth.
Behemoth, the fucking creeper dude that ran up on us
The
on camp.
Bodak.
The Bodog.
Oh,
the
his
Sarah
Bodox were sick.
Sworn.
I love that
I just
creature.
dropped.
I
these
go.
from
These
it.
dudes were just running through the streets.
You open the bag and it
Oh my god, it
God,
stinks.
it's
dude.
so
I hate
like-
that he has
I like
the
the
bag,
incense.
but sometimes I'm like, listen, dude, we've killed some crazy things. Show him the fucking bag. Pull up the bag. Roger,
And
pull up
open the bag.
And
like,
as
just open
soon
it,
as soon as Calphane hears bag, he like pulls out some incense and
That matches the reports. I'm confused. Are you trying to convince me that you are up for the job, or that you do not want
We
it
are
because
up
you
for it
have wavered in
after
between?
the academy.
That is non-negotiable.
I don't.
Okay.
I'm gonna be
hang on.
honest, I don't give a
Stop.
shit about the
Everybody
academy.
be quiet. This man wants an answer. We put it to a group vote right now. Just settle it. I vote that we go to the academy first. I'm sorry about that.
That is your fruition to have.
Academy.
Academy?
Tyrone is the fucking academy.
It's up to you two. What do you choose?
1000%.
Calphane, what do you want?
I vote the rift.
The Rift. Rolga? You can choose whatever you want. If
Verax
not, we'll
seems-
flip a coin for it. Just don't
Verax
look a bottle
seems more than
style.
capable of taking care of things.
We can't
I
rely on
don't.
Verax.
Hey man,
forever.
he's seemed more than capable before, and then
we can't rely on Verax forever.
we fucking found that old man on a meat hook. So I don't.
I
I like the turmoil, I won't lie. I like that you have to think about it, but this is your choice to make.
There's no point in saving the academy if there's no overworld to.
Well, listen, we
I
can
completely
still
agree
fucking
with
go
you. I
there
just-
after we go to the academy.
I think
I have
I
no
think the
problem
better
going
solution
there
is to go to the academy
after we go to
first.
the academy. We won't make
Roll
money,
it.
but I have no problem going there.
Chop chop.
Chop chop.
You can choose whatever you want. It's fine.
Academy?
You want to go to the academy? 3-1. I'm sorry, sir, but we're gonna go to the academy first.
A very saggy, somber face kind of overcomes him, and you see now that he has a very pursed lip on purpose. He has a lot of wrinkles that is hidden under his
He's had
makeup.
some tough fucking months, dude.
So he stands and he kind of. That is fine. I appreciate your ability to at least negotiate, and I appreciate you hearing me out. I hope your travels are safe. You can use the dormitories as long as you'd like.
We appreciate that. We appreciate you respecting our decision.
He lets out a little bow, and he nudges one of the guys and he says, "They're still welcome to the parting gift," and he leaves.
I feel kind of bad, but I also don't.
The gentleman
I'm
walks
so
up.
fucking. I'm so
We can
fucking.
fucking go there after.
I'm so I'm torn. That was
One of the
really-
guards that
was really great.
entered with him enters, and he goes, "As the count said, you are welcome to stay as long as you want, but he
Do you know who runs that new casino?
casino?
There was a casino that opened up in Rasha. We opened
I
it in
don't
the
get
bar.
out much. I'm sorry.
No,
Dude,
I'm
I wonder
sad,
if that
I'm sad.
new
sure you guys-
casino that opened up here is run by the same fucking guy.
It's just
We can just go.
coincidence.
Oh.
I'm sure you guys are working
I thought he was asking about the other.
quite a lot.
It's been a
Yeah.
tough couple of months.
You gotta keep the city safe, and I appreciate that.
What is
I'll
he?
do my best. It's a little like day spend bag. It's got 50 gold in it.
Wait, what?
He gave us 50 gold as like a parting gift.
As for you
When he
hearing
walked
him out,
when he walked out, he was
Shit.
he was like they're still welcome to the parting gift.
for you guys just coming
Hearing
to
him
his
out.
audience, he had given you a small, and it's like a fleece lined purple. You know where Crown Royale comes in?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it looks like. It's studded.
It says Crown Royal.
Yeah, it says Crown Royale established. Verax finally lets out like a. Well, sorry, wrong voice. Well, I'm glad that you still hold some faith in me and are willing to partake dangers on my behalf.
We have something to complete first before we complete anything else, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Would you prefer to rest here for the evening or find perhaps somewhere else?
That's the bottom
As long as they don't slit our throats at night.
Yeah, I don't have any issues staying here for the
I
night.
don't
He
have any
hears you whisper that, and the guard goes, "You are guests. No one will bother you." And they leave. However, we will
as if
stand
these
guard
motherfuckers
outdoor
could
as
even
procedure.
try that.
If you
Fair
need
enough.
privacy, you are not held here, and we will leave. But I am to remain posted here for your safety.
What's the policy of whacking it in?
Thanks, sir.
Yes, of course.
Mr. Guard, can you step away so I can whack off?
Verax takes his seat and he goes, "I do not mean to be that guy. I'm gonna go to bed." Even though it's like literally 2:30 in the afternoon. He's like setting up to like just vegetate. He seems to be setting up like a meditation circle.
Yeah, I'll
beforehand.
probably lay down in my bed and be like,
I'm gonna clean up. I want to shower.
Yeah. You've already have. I'm assuming you already have as well with him afterward. Yeah.
I'm gonna nudge the guard and ask if I'm good to.
Oh, like you open the door and you nudge him and he goes, "Cool."
I close the door, I fucking light one up, and I go sit in a cot.
Yeah. You enjoy it is like military housing, but it's comfy. I mean, you guys
It's
have
comfier than the jungle.
you guys have experienced far worse. I mean, it really.
I probably lived in worse.
By far.
Yeah.
By far. Oh, buddy.
buddy, this is mansion.
Yeah.
But
That would.
his every intention is to kill time. You are in a guarded home, so it's up to you guys if you want to run errands and do a little shopping, or if you just want to kill time, or
Kill time. I'm
dude,
sure
I don't.
Molier is fucking.
Again, I don't trust Magic Dude in this city. I want to fucking bounce.
I will.
I'm nervous about that guy.
it's obvious that Verax has the intention to rest. But you can talk to him if
No, I mean like bounce, like after.
as soon as possible.
Like we have a guarded room.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling a little bit better.
You did firsthand. All of you did see Verax use some pretty high-level spells. It's very obvious that it's taken a toll on his.
That is an old man.
He
That is an old
literally summoned a 40-foot blizzard inside. Like he used a lot to try to maintain safety for the rest of you, and so he is meditating, and you see him like reading through one of his books, the leather-bound one, the non-combat one.
I'd probably, attend to my wounds slightly, like probably bandage some like bigger stuff up, and then I could read my Bible and maybe say out some prayers.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I have every intention
Like
of
pray as I
chilling
read
out.
passages.
Yeah. You. It's
Not
not
like a
called a
big prayer.
sermon. It's a thing. But anyway,
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
I would like to go check out the temple district.
So you're gonna leave?
Yeah.
Yeah, you leave.
I'll go with him.
Okay. And
I'm chilling.
wash up and hang out with Varix.
Wash up, hang.
Just pitch in if you need anything. As you are also hanging out with Varix, you guys leave. You walk through the city, and you are just barraged with the sense of colors. Sorry that my voice is getting real bad.
I do want to pitch Vax. Quick question.
Yeah.
Hey man. So I'm 10. How old are you?
Persuasion check?
Dude, I wonder if he's older than me.
He definitely seems a little timid about the question.
He's probably just as old as you.
You guys walk through these
'Cause you're what,
beautiful
200?
lilac lavenders,
150.
and you go back to an
Something like
original
that. I'm
location.
I'm 250, dog. What the hell?
Yeah, you're older than me.
22.
22.
Yeah.
Molier is really young in terms of like dwarf.
He
age.
kind of perks up, and he goes,
I think I wrote.
Calphane has survived a long time for a drow.
I have been privileged with living longer than those of my blood should have been able to.
Well, I know that.
I have lost count of the exact years, but north of 180. Maybe close to the big 2. It's hard to tell. I'm so preoccupied with my studies.
Interesting. That's like my great-great-great-grandpa.
And I am... He kind of like gets a little like...
He's like, we're in weird territory. I don't know what's going on.
Sorry about that. Anyway.
I'm like, alright, I'm sorry, I was just curious.
He definitely, because of the role, you know, he feels a little comfortable discussing it with you, and then kind of just goes back to his little... You guys return to the area of the Green Keg. General vicinity. As you walk through and you see these large, towering buildings on like the perimeter of your location, but like I said, in this middle, the buildings are much more scaled down. And even though they're smaller, and it's definitely a smaller, lower economical area, you know, not nobles, it's more standard folk. The quality of building is not decreased, just the overall size. There's a lot more exoskeleton-like buildings, very cathedral-esque, all around. As you walk through, and you see the common guard, there is a couple times as you peruse through the streets that someone bumps into you and they look up and down and scowl, while other people don't seem to really care. It's kind of a mixed bag.
Can I keep my eye out for what would be like a magic, like an alchemy store?
Yeah, roll me an investigation check.
How old did Varric say he was?
North of 2.
So I was looking for my
No,
document.
he said around 180, maybe close to 200.
He's older than me.
Investigation.
Yes.
That's
Or
crazy.
16.
16.
He said he thought north of 180.
So, you ask around, and you ask around some people, and a couple people kind of give you the cold shoulder because of your company. But the two of you enjoy what is the beautiful late afternoon of the city. And one gentleman kind of like perks up and goes, "Oh, you're what exactly magical-esque are you looking for? Items, or are you looking for someone to make you potions?
Ingredients.
Ingredients for..."
Any kind of magic.
Ah, yes. I myself do not partake in such pleasantries. However, your best bet would be to speak with... How the fuck do you pronounce what I typed here?
That's how you know you came with something good, baby.
That's how you know you came with a real good fantasy
Just
name.
say
It's
you're
like
part of
12,
the broken
12
walls,
apostrophes.
Christ.
You get stuff for free if you're part of the
I'm just gonna go with the long A, Paltena.
Thank you.
And he, you know, oh, go down here. It's got an address, all right? I'm not gonna fucking come up with fake addresses. I don't do that.
1543 Cherry Blossom Way.
Okay, yeah. And he, you know, you're maybe 8 to 12 minutes walk away from this specific location that he describes.
Shall we?
Just outside the temple district.
Sure. Lead the way.
You walk through and you do enter. And it is, oh, woe and behold, an elven gal named Paltena. She sees you enter. Her small little hovel that is this storefront, it's built very Hobbit-esque. It's very robust and round. Not as much glass as maybe some similar buildings. And a lot more wood than a lot of the more recent structures. Otherwise, you enter, and it's a standard storefront. She has glass cases where she has incense and even something as mundane as bundles of tobacco and some potions on the walls. You do smell something brewing in the back. It's all in all very craft fairy-esque, but
Can I
quaint.
do my best to try to remember all that was put down for the teleportation circle? I would have some idea.
I'm not even... This is probably stupid because you're not actually a sorcerer or wizard that has access to that spell, but you've seen it cast multiple times, and you've been a part of the casting once when Dominus did it.
Yeah.
Both of you would be aware of what is necessary.
I want to ask her to gather those supplies.
You ask for those supplies, and she goes, "Oh, seeking to take a trip then?"
Possibly.
Well, of course. Give me but a moment. Do you need any arcane paper, perhaps, as well, or maybe?
Sure.
Oh, of course. What up to? She does give you the required pieces, 50 gold worth, I believe it is, right? 50 gold worth of ritual chalk, incense, and the third piece.
I can double check. I'm pretty sure that's what you told me it was last time.
And obviously, like, that's a loose figure for DMs. It is a static 50 gold worth of these things that she does present to you, and she has an abundance of them. She seems to have a pretty well stocked store here.
Is there any?
That's
is
what
there
you
anything in
charged
the
me
store
last
that's
time,
like
right?
not like magical items in the sense of not just ingredients, but like magical items?
You look around, you don't see anything, and I'll even let you ask her. And she goes, "Oh, well, personally, I deal more in the raw ingredients. If you're looking for trinkets for trade, your best bet is to head closer to the north. And Teo, he owns a large shop known as the Arcane Ensemble. If that's more your speed.
Okay.
Would you like me to bag these up for you?"
Of course.
She puts it into a bundle, and as you see her prepare it, it is taken with care. Like, she is most likely... What's your passive perception?
19.
This is high. Mine's not that high. 50.
50. Okay. You know, she just puts her shit in the bag. You do notice that the way she cares for it, it's very obvious that even with her demeanor, she definitely is a trained wizard or sorceress. Or is it witch? Is that the female wizard? Is that technically how that's correct? Some form of witch or sorceress. As she like bundles it in a way as to not like communal, like have them scrape against each other or ruin the purity of it. And it is a high quality. So to the extent that she's confident she has given you enough, but it takes up half the space that you had watched them cast with it last time. It seems to be like the right shit, so to speak. It doesn't change how it works, but it's obvious, like, instead of 50 gold worth being this much, it's like the right stuff. So.
Careful hand. You know?
Yeah.
Take my pouch, open it, drop 50.
She goes, "Oh, perfect.
And
Do you have any powdered silver by chance?
Powdered silver. That's a rare commodity. Let me check the stores." She steps into the back and returns. She says, "Unfortunately, no. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'd use it on, but..."
would that Teo possibly have any?
Oh, it's maybe. He is a peculiar fellow, but he does stock quite a bit of pleasantries.
It's the holy magics. It's not. I thought it would be worth a shot.
Well, my papa always told me whether from the divine or the arcane, speaking to a higher power is one and the same.
Fair enough.
I want everyone to know I made that up right then. I just want
That
everyone
was
to
a bar.
That was
I didn't know how that was gonna end.
I like that. That was good.
That
was good.
Anyway,
I get big props to that one.
thank you.
I respect.
I'm gonna, yeah.
Great improv.
Bad rhymes are my thing, so
Well, you
that's
finish
good.
up here.
I have to fist too.
We can. Which matches is now.
Okay, don't do them all the time.
You have left the shop. After you describe what you were looking for to Varax, he leans in.
Yes.
He says, something like that usually is some form of specific commissioned ceremonial enchanting item. With the required stuff, the Academy could have it made, or some great sorcerer. A lot of them do that work as their business of enchanting or crafting the items necessary as a vessel.
Are you asking what I think you're asking?
Probably.
Dragon.
Yeah.
So, it is easily accessible if you have time for someone to create it, most likely.
Well, I wanted to have it made at the Academy. I forgot before we left, so that's on me. I've been waiting on this one for a very long time.
Well, hopefully if things go our way, we could reunite you with the ability to do so.
Well, kind of look around the room like, it kind of seems like we're going that way.
And for that, I'm grateful for your assistance.
I gotta see this through, old man. Listen, you have
You
no-
call him old man?
I do call him old man.
Listen here, you old fuck.
I just learned how old he was, and I'm like, you are quite literally 20 times my age.
Yeah.
Listen here, old man. I have almost died so many fucking times saving your life. I'm seeing this thing through.
Yeah, other than that, you get your stuff, you hang out. Where are you guys going back?
That's up to
I was going to the Temple District.
You were in the Temple District.
Oh, I am.
You've been in the Temple District for quite some time. You have perused through and seen all the cathedrals pass by.
Okay.
These shops are in the Temple District. This is a ginormous city. There's probably 300 of these shops and 300 different people who sell these types of services. These were just the nearby ones in the neighborhood.
There.
These small hovels in the walls.
Like, what cathedrals are there? Like, I guess there's kind of one for pretty much every...
There is an innumerable amount. Religious iconography is everywhere. In your slight teachings, it's very obvious that none of them seem to differ from that of the Seldarine. You see some names you kind of recognized. You don't really follow the Seldarine, but you see some in stories, and because your god is a direct branch of.
Yeah.
As well as some you don't. Stories that they don't fit in, and you're like, oh, it's
That's peculiar.
yeah, that's a thing. And I'm not even trying to gloss over it, because if you want to do something, let me know. It is literally everywhere. You are walking through what is essentially a metropolitan graveyard with mosques and fucking what every religion's type of religious showing of cathedral, and it's different in construction and how, but it's all for the same pantheon. So like there's like people who are like praying to the goddess of bounty, or it is a lot.
Yeah.
It is quite a bit.
I guess on like second thought, maybe not a good idea to go in one.
Do whatever you want.
Are there any for Corellian? Is that his name?
Corellian. Let me look which
Big
ones I wrote.
Elven Papa.
Features. Where are my list of Sorry, come on. Let me get to my master key. Thank you. I will say, trying to open up another tabs while it's recording makes my computer shit its pants.
Really?
It's like, whoa, wait.
Where are you going?
Let's not do that. Let's see here.
Get the fuck off me.
Yeah. It's hilarious. That guy's a world champion strongman.
Eddie Hall.
Yeah. It's funny to watch him fight. He's just strong as fuck. He's just like, rah!
Oh, yeah. Corellin Lorathian.
Yes.
Yeah, that is like one of the most common cathedrals that you see.
Okay.
There's many of Corellin. A couple of I'm gonna butcher the shit out of this. Angarad.
Okay.
And what's the third one that everyone knows? Where did I write you in here, my child?
I'm trying to remember.
Rilliphane Ralathil.
Okay.
There's way more than that. Those are the ones you notice because they're more prominent in standard preach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those are like the big names of like, oh, nature and knowledge and like what like the standard person who might pray to them might do in passing, like before a meal or before a solstice. Things that in learning of your god and the Dark Seldarine that you have, these names have come up from time to time. There is probably 20 different gods and places of worship you peruse through over the next half hour as you guys walk several miles through this giant, non-stop collection of these cathedrals and churches and mosques and you name it, it's a different shape and it's got a different god in it.
Yeah.
All of them, not one, is anything other than the Elven pantheon.
No, I know.
Not a single one, and that's obvious.
I'll go into. I'll kind of like ask him. I'll be like, you don't have to follow me if you don't want to, but it's up to you, man.
Are we going into one?
Yeah.
If I burst into flames, you have to get me out of there.
I will. I'll go into one for Corellin.
Dude, you're gonna walk in, and everyone in the church is gonna be like,
It smells like sulfur.
Now,
Demon!
wait a minute now.
Wait a
Demon!
Just
I-
immediately like
I kind of
evaporates.
Oh god!
You enter. It's mostly empty. There's some pews in this, and this was the one for Corellin.
Yeah.
The one you entered. It's mostly filled with pews. There's about 2 people in the pews, one at the front, one at the back, right where you enter. It's a long hall, very, very standard, like run-of-the-mill stone cathedral-esque. At the end of which is a depiction of Corellin. I'm probably even saying that like in passing incorrectly, but the symbol of the quarter moon with like a small exploding star is the symbol of him, and it's there like engraved into a big stained glass backdrop with a like spell book wielding elven depiction of him. Otherwise, there doesn't seem to be any like ritual areas in this place. It's just a place to pay tribute. You would know that Corellin himself isn't really like a big cult type guy. Like he doesn't ask much of his followers. So the modesty of this church and cathedral, even though there's been several dedicated to him, even in this block, is kind of expected from what you have heard in passing of studies of both the Seldarine and the Dark Seldarine. There is a pastor, a gentleman at the forefront of the church, who sits reading in a little libation bowl as he goes toiling through a Bible. Well, a book of literature. I won't call it a Bible, but
What holy book?
a holy book, a book of holiness.
I'll approach the pastor, I guess.
Okay. He sees you. He says,
I will take a seat and not approach the pastor.
"You take a seat." He first looks up kind of quaintly and then immediately double takes as he kind of looks you up and down. He goes, "Oh, well, hello."
Hello. I just wanted to come by and seek guidance from another holy man, if that's okay. I'm not Lolth. I'm Illustrae, and I thought there was nowhere better in this city than her father's temple, if that's okay.
If she speaks, she speaks. Or if he speaks, he speaks. It is not my right to deny someone. As he teaches, it's up to us to solve our own problems, and for that you are trying. Help yourself.
Thank you, sir. And I'll hand him 2 gold, and I'll say to keep the church running.
It's appreciated. Thank you. And he just kind of goes about. He's visibly a little shaken, just confused at the formality of what you are asking. But otherwise doesn't side-eye you in any way. He goes back about his business as you go, and I'm assuming take a seat in the pews? I don't know. Okay.
I'll go sit next to Roller.
Yeah,
I'll
you
just
guys
sit there
vibe.
for a minute.
It's eerily quiet. You know, there's the
kind of awkward to like.
there's the occasional. Let's see if I can. Oh, there's one of like a.
And then the
But otherwise. Jesus Christ.
An older
Yeah.
gentleman.
Oh my god.
You sound like a fucking demon eating fucking.
they do because after they cough, they always like chew on it. They're like,
Anyway, you're in the drow or you're in the pews.
You're in a drought? Oh.
What are you doing, big man?
I'll just kind of pray for guidance, I guess.
Next to
Roll me a religion check.
I'll
It is kind of funny that you're praying right next, like you're sitting next to Demon Boy.
I just kind of like put my hands together and kind of.
I mean, hey, he's following a god now. In a way,
That's what you're doing.
Yeah,
send you on.
Maybe I should wait outside.
It's not so much he's following; he's going his bitch.
Yeah.
That's what being
Fucking
warlock.
dick ass roll. That's a 6.
6. It's good to know. You sit for a moment. What do you say?
I'll just kind of pray to both of them. Like, I'll pray to Illustrae first, I guess. And I'll kind of be like, yeah, you know, like, I know I'm here to, like, find allies. But it kind of seems like I'm not going down the right path. like I really hope to bring our brethren together again. But that seems like a monumentous task. And I don't know if it's one that I'm 100% worthy of. So I guess I'm just asking for your help on where to go next. And then I'll just give my general respects to Corellin, because I'm using his fucking temple as a thinking place.
Yeah. You go through this process of trying to focus yourself, and it feels, even to you, a little taboo. Even with the...
Sorry, but
No, you're fine. Even with the connection between these two figures, and even with Krellin being, by definition, a more laid-back deity, you feel like you stumble over your words a little bit because you walk up to his temple and then pray to a completely different god. One that has completely different virtues and realizations for the future. But you mutter your prayer and feel better for it.
I just needed some more fucking quiet, I guess. And it's the only place I could think of was like the Temple District, but yeah, I'll just kind of leave, I guess.
If that's what you would like to do.
Yeah.
You watch as he mutters his words, half in a mumble and half silently as he bows his head, and then, as quickly as you came, he stands and walks out of the cathedral.
Kind of get up and I go.
I also imagine like he would just be curious to like, after hearing all these stories, he'd be curious to just like see statues or like.
If that's what you think he would, it is
yeah,
your character.
I mean, I know it's my character. I was just saying that's my thought process. I guess.
I'm not gonna stop you.
So,
You still are here. What would you
yeah,
like to do?
Anything else you want to do, or?
Not here.
I am no man of God.
Roger?
No.
It would have been
not.
funny if
Roger is
you're trying to crack your
uncomfortable.
bird.
In the
You're
church.
just like in the church, like
Cracking open tankard, if you will.
you're like, fuck.
Oh, goodness me. Goodness me.
Need a massage?
Maybe one day, yeah.
Yeah, we head back to the hotel.
Head back to the...
Head back to the keep, I guess.
The fort.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are waved through the entry guards as you return, seeing your allies seated. It probably took a total of 2 hours for you to hang out and pray, and you to go do your thing, and you to go buy 50 gold.
I walk up and I just drop the sack on his cot.
It is a very visible sack of nicely wrapped, high-quality arcane materials for the use of the teleportation spell. Teleportation circle. So.
Somewhere you want to go
Well, you were out of materials.
to? Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you, Olger.
Therak seems unbothered by both of your entry. He does ask as you two return, how was the town? You said you had never been here before.
Beautiful.
I answered some questions I've had since I was a kid, so that works for me.
I'm glad to hear.
Foreign? Felt very foreign.
Russia is upscale, but definitely more on the mystical side.
Just a splash, dude. Just a splash!
That's a pretty... It's not a
Pretty big
small
splash, bro.
dude.
Have you thought about not splashing?
Yeah.
I just want to... I'm just curious.
So, yeah, a little bit. So, Molnir, you asked if elves don't like drow.
Yeah.
Do you want the long version or the short version?
I'll take
Just use it,
one.
bro. Who cares?
Whichever one you want to say. If
Um,
it's a long version, let me know. and I'll
Paper,
close
paper,
my
Oh, there's rags right there. There's literally a yellow rag right by the right of the...
Well, he's got a handful of toilet.
All right.
We'll go on.
short version. The elven deity Relling
Sure.
is the father of my goddess.
Sure.
And her mother, the only other drow goddess, betrayed him, and it sent all of our people into the Underdark forever. And it's not exactly good terms ever since.
Well, they don't need to be dicks about it. You didn't fucking betray them.
Not personally, no, but
Just because
Yeah.
you reincarnate because drow forgot that.
that's
The pale elves will be pale elves.
you asked about the nature of the beef. That's it.
They're precarious. Elves. Probably hold their judgment until the end of time. But I don't think drow were all that bad. To be fair.
You ain't met most.
Most of them. Why? Are you
No,
guys mean or something? Are you guys doing
Very
heinous
specific-
acts underneath the earth?
Lolth's teachings are not great.
What do you mean not great?
Torture, abominations that would probably rival the Wanty. Just general slavery.
And you guys
Murder.
in the religious texts?
In her religious text, yeah, she's interesting.
Interesting, you say.
There have been tomes and rumors that you have heard of from traders and other religious figures from Kinrock that you've spoken to of the veracity of some drow.
You can speak in your normal voice, dude. This
That is
Lord.
what it literally sounds like right now. And how they, you guys are pretty far north that you know of geography-wise compared to the Underdark. But you've heard of some weird shit. Not privy to it all. This is definitely new information to you. But you've heard like the whispers of like, yeah, you don't really fuck with them if you can help it. There's no point. There's no green light.
It's basically Slanesh 40k,
She's the
right?
not
Like,
far off.
not far. Oh god! Ew!
She's like she's big on. It's just like
It's
if
like
you
spiders.
have power,
Big fan
you
of
use
spiders.
that to kill or bully people under you. And she's the goddess of spiders and values spiders even over her own drow. So you'll end up with these things called driders that are half man, half spider.
Oh, like the thing in Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes.
That's punishment for
I fucking
not-
murdered that dude.
that. Yeah, so
I
did
fucked
I.
that guy up.
That's punishment for not following her teachings. She does that to you.
And you don't worship that one.
No.
All right, well that's good at least. Okay, well that's informative. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's probably about 5 p.m., but you can keep doing whatever you
I'm just gonna kill time till night.
want. Okay.
Same here.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not ready to do.
Oh,
I'll let out a prayer. I'll send out a prayer to Morden to guide us.
the night. I know exactly.
I'll
what
just
you're-
kind of like sit,
Let me do this first.
I'll sit up against the wall, just kind of like.
The
deep in
night
thought.
begins to take you. And what fades from a hard-fought battle, a long and arduous journey, turns into a night of respite. It is beyond comfort, even with this awfully uncomfortable cot. You are out of the jungle.
Thank God.
As your eyes begin to flutter, for all but you, as you await for an opportunity. Molnir, your eyes close. But then they open, and you find yourself standing over your compatriots during the fall. The clang of steel echoes through the battlefield.
Just a clarification, the fall of Thandril.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's very obvious to you that this is a prop. It is a narrative device. It's very clear to you. You know what you felt that day, and nothing will ever match that. Even a PTSD flashback. Nothing can convince you to relive those moments. And then descending from the mountainside in front of you, a holy light, a beacon. You've seen this many times before, but how he, the one, likes to present himself to both you and anyone who worshipped him, your God. In gilded armor, descends, walking towards you. You feel yourself frozen. You can't speak. You can't move. And without projecting his voice, it's almost like a whisper that rumbles the ground. He speaks. I have stood by, and I have watched you grow. The deeds you have done, and the strength that you have procured. My son, it is finally time for a crusade.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, buddy!
You hear behind him the rah, rah chants of your dwarven brethren as they charge the line, ready to give their lives to defend their city, but unfortunately, failing. That guttural war cry fades back into the tranquil chirping of grasshopper and wind on stone. You know what you must do. And your eyes blink and open, and you find yourself back in the keep, drenched in a palpable sweat, your brow thick with moisture. That's all. What would you like to do during this time?
Does the washrooms have like a curtain?
They're doors, yeah.
I'll go in there.
Okay.
And I'll think really hard to talk to someone.
You barely even have time to think. As soon as you were secluded in the night, no vision, no grandeur narrative, simply that of the ringing echo, slithering whisper that propagates your mind, as it has so many times before. He definitely has a more informal communication pattern with you than maybe other religious figures do, because he's kind of known you for a while on a first name basis. But he still sounds weak. He sounds rasped, lack of gusto, if you will. You were gone for some time. I could not speak to you.
Oh, what's the dude's name? What's the demon's name that was locked away?
Sissenak.
We were in the world temple that Sissenak took over, I'm assuming. I couldn't read you either.
I know of Sissenak. We do not see eye to eye. You were in one of his patron temples.
That's what the child's told me.
Then were you successful in reinvigorating it?
Semyana, Chalice told me to go somewhere and rift open, and a pale giant was there, and Chalice summons his blood.
I was not aware of how this artifact structured or worked. The cultists that followed Sissenak are ingenious in their primitive drive. I recoiled myself to more tangible, surface level advancement. However, whatever it may be, its power is undeniable, and my ask for what I have given you remains the same. If it seems to have been brought back to its place of birth, if it is ready for me, I need it. It may be able to bring me back to a tangible form once again.
I pulled out the chalice when I started talking.
Mhm.
Was the chalice doing anything at this point?
It's just a cup.
When you say you want the chalice, as in destroy it? Or?
To commune with it. It had won me many battles when we pillaged it from Sissenek himself many years ago. But it had waned in power over the decades. I had worried that when I put it in storage, so to speak, for my small communions that I had, nothing similar to Sissenek, my followers were much more diverse and small. You had met some of them.
I know.
Rest in peace, Zahar.
You did say, like, when we brought the chalice there, it felt like it got fucking rejuiced.
Yeah.
At least it felt brimmed with energy, absolutely. I had thought that perhaps the tales that were spoken to me of its grandeur were far from over. But when you described to me your previous patron's interest with it, it made me think that perhaps it still had something to give yet if others were searching for it, so it seems I was right.
Yeah, you're right. This pale giant was it's definitely a god. I don't know the name of it, but it was a god in its truest form, being held prisoner there.
What better way than to empower a god by then the life force of another? There are few weapons that any deity, immortal
Anything
or
for
not,
survival, bro.
Fuck, dude.
Consume a god to keep the god going. Anything
I'm standing in
for
front of him,
survival.
correct?
You're just hearing him.
I'm just hearing
You're
him.
not having a vision. He's like speaking directly to you. You're not in a dream state. You like rang in. Like this is the truest form of real-time communication you've had with him. You've had him a couple times like this. But yeah, this is like, he's like dialing your phone number. Like he is talking to you.
Well, fuck, dude.
If it was successful for Sissenek, as it was for me in the past, and if it was discovered that perhaps you have done what was necessary, as you told me it was longing, have you completed its longing?
As far as I know, yeah.
Then perhaps you are more useful than I had originally anticipated.
Yeah.
I await your arrival. An island to the west, off the coast of what you call now Eleuterion. Find your way there. Your patronage will guide you. And
It's
he
not.
flickers out.
It's not on the map. I'm gonna be going out in the uncharted waters.
Uh-huh. Your god wants you to go something that's not on the map, bitch. Survive, fucker!
Well, we're kind of crossroads, boys.
Dude, this is one of those sessions where there's like 8 different things that are pulling us in
Dude.
8 different directions.
Oh
Yeah,
my
what the fuck?
fucking god! Brady's trying to break up the broken bottles.
honestly, yeah, he's like, you guys are too powerful. You guys are having songs sung about you. Too powerful.
He's like, we're restarting.
You have
We're all
come to
gonna
the
go
culmination of like 3 different things over the course of 2 years. The next step of all of them now presenting themselves. None of these are new conflicts.
Yeah.
All of these you've known about for 2 years in real lifetime.
Yeah, but-
the war, the cup, your fall, the academy. These are things you have known for a very long time. And exactly the direction they were going in.
Yeah.
You guys have just been incognito for a while doing your own shit. But you're back now where people recognize you, where there are stakes and consequences.
I probably would have like taken a second after
Oh,
that
yeah.
vision. I would have like
I would assume so. I just had to jump
and then,
away.
like for 2 hours
You
and
would
try
not.
to go back to sleep.
Sleep
I
I'll
don't,
give you the benefit of
Dude,
the long rest. You
we
feel
are
like-
chilling.
yeah,
The
yeah.
best
It's not.
sleep we've ever
No,
had.
it's not guilt.
No,
It's.
I completely.
I am
Righteous
stoked
and
that I
wanna
have
give you
never
things
pledged
about
my
it.
life
That's fine.
I would if he
to
wasn't
a
happy. with
forgotten
it. You
god
feel
or a
like
demon Tyrone.
Yeah,
Out
like you just
I'm
took 3
thinking-
scoops of pre-workout. Like
Like
you're like.
having that kind of sleep where you wake up in the middle of the night and go like,
Workout on Friday.
like you slurp up a little bit of drool. You're like,
Oh my god, I went till failure every fucking
Holy
set.
shit.
I was like,
and like your whole body
Oh,
feels
my
like 100 pounds,
I felt
like
so.
all across the whole thing.
Oh my god.
We are getting long rest.
Yeah, everyone will long rest, and I'll say for purposes of continued moving us along, because I don't got a lot left in me.
Sure.
You guys awake. It's very noticeable to you that he seems uncannily scared, and he looks like he just popped Fen. No, he looks like he did some crazy hyperactive stimulant. He's like sitting in
I
the...
did a bunch of cocaine, and
Yeah.
now I'm like on the downturn.
He's like trying to sheath his weapon, and he keeps missing the sheath, and he's like, fuck,
I'm stabbing myself.
I'll,
I'm literally stabbing myself
I'll start with him. I'll like,
Sure.
I'll kind of like pull up
You
a
see both
chair.
of these, of course.
I'll pull up a chair and I'll be like, hey man, like, everything good?
Well, what's
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 bugging
going
you,
on,
man?
buddy?
Yeah.
Insight check.
Roll me an insight check.
Homeboy's just like,
He said, yeah.
I thought he was like, I thought he was gonna go like, yeah, we're good.
Normally, I would say choose persuasion or deception, whatever you think applies. I think we both know what applies.
Yeah.
But go ahead and roll.
It's 26.
All right.
Uh-oh.
You have to roll a natural 20.
Deception?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 15.
It's obvious that he's anxious about something. It's not just fear. It's almost like a portion of despair. He himself doesn't look in fear for his own life. It's more so he's like just dissonant. There's just not a lot behind the eyes.
My friend, I haven't seen you this terrified since we were on the boat.
This is a discussion for another time, I
Just know that my ears are always open.
think. Yeah.
And I'll walk over and I'll talk to him next. you seem extra energetic this morning. Is everything?
Moldy, what's going on, bro?
What's up in your world?
Warden spoke to me.
Whoa, okay.
I have to reclaim my homeland.
You?
Whether you guys join me or not, after we escort Verbax to the Wizard City.
To the city.
The Wizard City. Our next destination is Central. If you guys wish to not accompany me, I will go by myself and reclaim my homeland, but
Jesus.
that is my next destination.
Sounds local enough to me.
Whatever comes, comes.
Tyrone's like, Molnir's getting his fucking homeland back, and I'm making sure.
I've helped you guys quite a lot. And I ask for this in return.
Tyrone's
I'm
like,
leveraging it.
dude, the only time I'm even walking the earth is because of this guy. So he's like, we're going to fucking take back home? Yeah.
Yeah, fuck the riff.
Okay.
Yo, that riff.
We stepping
fuck
up.
it.
Click clack. I'm ready. Let's fucking go.
He's like, I don't owe anything to this rift. This fucking dude who saved my life countless times. Alright, yeah. Fuck the rift. I don't give a shit.
Tyrone's heard this ultimatum before. He's scared to lose another OG Broken Bottles member. He's straight up just like... Yeah,
Well, now my shit's almost done.
Yeah.
It's straight up a checkpoint on the way.
No,
Hopefully.
dude, it's not almost done. It's gonna be some bullshit, dude.
Don't say it.
There's gonna be some.
Brady, I'm begging you, bro.
Look at There's gonna be. Look at that face. Hang on. Turn to the camera. Look at the camera with
I
that
got a camera right here.
You have a
There's gonna be another 30 fucking sessions of shit when we get to the Wizard City.
I'll see you guys in 2026 when you finally get to the Golden Mountains.
Fuck, dude.
I kid. No spoilers. The world is yours.
That was a
I'm
spoiler
gonna get
right
up.
there.
Spoiler alert. 2026.
It's gonna be 2027.
Grab my rucksack, put it on, and stand by the door.
Go about your day. You all awaken. Verax, as per usual, was awakened before the rest of you, studying upon himself. He,
Let me
Where
consider
is-
morning prayers and then get ready to go.
oh.
See, even if I say my morning prayers, it's like morning's like, you know what I want, boy.
Why are you talking to me and not killing elves?
You know what I want, boy.
You are Grimgor Ironhand.
Can I?
Dude, I had
Holy shit.
Morning probably looks like the fucking Emperor Mankind. Like he's just like
Oh, he's Carl Franz.
Lose my mind.
Straight
Fucking
up.
No.
shit.
No.
I gotta know a little
He's like
bit.
huge and
Sorry,
like
I'm just trying to find my place.
like a
on
huge
that.
armor.
Dude,
long
how
full-
funny would
40K.
it be?
Yeah,
I
40.
think
What?
it's fancy.
You gotta keep this to yourself, dude.
Carl Franz.
Can I look at Rolger?
Beast. though.
Yeah.
Does he still look like
He's got
perturbed?
the
He
one.
looks
say.
catatonic.
Okay.
He's not having a good
The
time.
AI does not know how to.
I'm gonna look at him.
It's so bad. It's so sad.
Unless you're Elspeth.
Grady.
Mhm.
I'm gonna cast Yield Detect Thoughts.
I've been working 3 in a while, but console squid.
I deleted it.
Read Detect Thoughts to
It was
me
like
in its purity.
150 gigs.
It's really long.
I
It
will
is a
read Detect
very
Thoughts.
long
I will
Every
description.
once in a while.
What all I need to know for sure is if he knows that you cast a Detect Thoughts.
He doesn't it's basically like when I cast it, I can read like surface level.
Okay.
And then like if I want to spend an action to like dive deeper,
Surface
he
level.
has to make a save.
Surface level, you feel trepidation, anxiety, and weirdly enough, the fear of loss. And you understand that fear of loss is directly to what he holds most dear. The people who've gotten here. If you want to dive deeper, he will need to make a wisdom saving throw. Obviously, the surface level thought, that's what he's feeling. The root of those is still unaware to you. Why he feels this way is beyond you.
Did he read?
Why not? Honestly, I'll shoot my shot.
Wisdom saving throw.
Hey, am
You're
I
wise,
within
man.
10 feet of Rolger?
He literally looked at you dead in the eyes, went, "What's wrong?" and then went, "Ah," and fucking tele blocked you.
Hang on. Would he get my +3 or?
He would actually. It is a saving throw.
Mjolnir, I need you to stand across the room for me.
Actually, I think. Hang on. Let me read
I'm
it.
standing at the door.
Before anything is.
He's at the door. Mjolnir, where are you in the room?
At his bed.
He's at his bed.
Hang on.
How close is the bed to the door, Brady? You be the judge.
Wait, what?
Fuck it. You're
Dude?
not.
Doesn't matter.
He rolled a 1.
Oh, tragic.
He's too distracted.
You immediately feel a presence in your mind. Immediately. However, because even though you feel it, you can like literally feel like as if your mind is being opened like a book and someone is pouring through the library. And you learn that this fear, this despair is because of a calling of a higher power. He has been tasked with a very similar task, dude, that he has been given many moons ago to retrieve and deliver a parceled item known as the Chalice of the Everlasting to a specific location.
Tara just goes, "Fuck! God!"
And even though you are familiar with what he's being asked, What's weird is how deep it is affecting you. It's obvious that the emotional state that Rolger is in now is quite detrimental. It is palpable. Unless you'd like to add anything about how you feel.
How do you feel?
You summed it up pretty good.
So you learn those. You learn that you don't, because you only
Do I
learn-
know that he's doing this?
You do.
Oh yeah.
So you don't know it first, and then as soon as he opens the book and reads your brain, you go,
It's basically like, so when I cast a spell,
I didn't
I
know
like
you
see
had
the
a
cover of the
book
book,
in
and
it.
it's like, this is kind of like how he's feeling overall. And so it's like, you feel like shit. And then if I like want to dive deeper, then you know, and that's why I have to make the save.
yeah, even though
And then I
even
go-
if you make the save, you still know. He just gets to fucking scan that shit
Can
like Spark
I-
Notes.
If I think something, would he know? Like, would he be able to read it?
I think he's got open access.
Tyrone sucks.
I'm standing like 10 feet away from you, bro. You can
I'll
just turn
let you
and
do
say
this.
it.
If you make your intelligence check to contest it,
I don't. No. I want to tell him something.
okay.
He just wants to think a thought.
Think a thought.
Keep this to yourself.
As you literally, as he's going, fuck! No!
Tyrone said fuck out loud.
Yeah.
He went, fuck!
I'll like look up. I'll look up from my prim out. I'll be like, yeah, everything good? Like,
Yeah, problem, Tyrone.
what's up, Tyrone? Everything good?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah,
Insight
he
check.
screamed out, "Fuck!"
Inside check.
Go for it.
You can't do this to me!
Go for it.
I like to assist in this.
That's a 27.
Please roll me a persuasion or deception. Yeah.
I didn't know I had this. While you are conscious, you and friendly creatures within 10 feet can't be frightened. I didn't know I had it.
I didn't either.
What did
That
you
would have
roll?
been crazy.
27.
last fight. The fight before would have been like, yeah.
I didn't beat it, but man, was that fucking close.
What was your trouble?
Persuasion or deception?
Well, you know what it is.
It's deception.
Yeah.
22.
He's lying. That's
Tyrone is just
he
like-
is, he is lying through his teeth.
I literally said yeah the same way he
Yeah.
said yeah. I
You went,
yeah.
oh yeah, I'm good. And then he went, ah! It's fine. Yeah,
He's
he's
like, yeah, I'm good. He's like, fuck. Yeah, dude, I'm good. Fuck.
I go, we'll talk about it later.
Verax is visibly confused. However, he stands. He says, "Shall we press on?"
Yeah, we
To
should.
the tower, to the academy.
I will put my prayer shit away and I'll be like,
Should we try to get
let's go.
Get a horse and buggy? I think it might make the travel faster. I don't know.
Given the circumstance,
Yeah, I don't know if
I
that's
don't
even
know
an
if there's
option.
any travel over the country. I guess I'll ask at the gate, but it doesn't sound like people are leaving the gate,
That's
the
true.
city limits, so to speak.
the rift seems has expanded to the point where
Well, I'm
people
sure
go
they'd let the
outside.
broken bottles leave.
And I mean,
maybe we can ask the count.
I wouldn't.
I'm sorry,
We straight up were just like, yeah, fuck whatever you asked for.
Well, no, I respectfully said, we decline, but we do need to get to the academy.
but
Verax leaves the fort.
genuinely,
so
if it's bad
he's
enough,
walking
We're
up.
going.
if it's
So
bad
is
enough
there
that they
still
have
guards?
posters that are like,
Is there still guards outside?
Yeah, they're just hanging out.
Is the count nearby? Are we able to leave the city? I know everything's on
Oh,
quite lockdown.
It's ill advised, but it is up to you if you wish to leave.
Might be able to
if it's
after.
bad enough,
Is
that
there
they
any
have
way
posters.
to? Is there any shops that sell like a horse and buggy, like a stable, that sort of thing, right now?
Most horses are
War effort.
reprimanded for the war effort. You might find someone stupid enough to take you cross country, but unlikely.
All right, that's fair. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Thank you for standing outside. We really appreciate that. We haven't had a guarded rest
You are guests
in
of
a
the count.
very long time, so I appreciate that. Send the count kindness regards and let them know that we're sorry we didn't take up with his offer, but just know that we have something very important to do.
I will let him know. Safe travels,
Thank you.
and I hope that you find your way.
Thank you. It's very kind. It's an elven man, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I've made my peace with the elves, dude.
Never thought I would hear those words.
I've done my good deed for the day. I could be mean as fuck to the
Oh.
elves for the rest.
That's better. That's more like it.
That's what I expected.
Well, yeah, dude, it's gotta be. Come on.
All right, so we march to the
Gotta
gates.
be nice to-
we have
you gotta
right
be nice
behind
to the guards.
Old
They just-
ass.
You spend about an hour trying to get out of the through the city. You see the same posters. You also see advertisements for specific services, none of which are coach and buggies.
Yeah.
You see some advertisements for a shop called the Arcane Ensemble, which does ring a bell. And then you also pass the occasional peddler.
Like peddlers and like they're trying to sell you shit or
Yeah, like they're on the street with a stall.
like
Like,
that,
oh,
that
here's-
motherfucker in the middle of the mall that's like, dude, you're choosing.
Dude, look at
you-
these sunglasses!
Yeah, but they're more so like a little bit more genuine. These guys aren't pestering you like the guys in the Concord were. These people are like, dwarven steel, straight from the mountains, dwarven steel, hard as stone, and, you know, shit like that.
Guys.
These elves are selling dwarven steel.
Yeah,
It's
just
a-
go up, inspect, be like, yeah, this
It's a peddler. He doesn't have a storefront. It's a guy that has a cart full of shit.
Are you saying mall stall workers aren't noble?
I'm saying he's not. You guys walk through the city. No other stops?
Another stop.
Dude, a man on a mission.
Okay. You finally reach...
You got a crusade, brother.
You now see the ring of the city, and you see the ring, the wall, is like 50 feet in the air.
Like Attack on Titan fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it is very different to what you are already used to in most capital cities. Hold on. We're doing shenanigans.
Oh, god damn it, Roller. God damn it.
And you mutter this, like, with intent.
I wish I had Frederick.
Roll me... You know what? Roll me a persuasion check.
You're pretty persuasive, dude.
Yeah, you are a persuasive little fuck.
I don't know who or what you're persuading.
Yes. Get those.
Good to
Oh,
know.
back to back? No.
Dude, it's gotten ice cold. It went from red hot to ice cold in moments.
Well, at least now it's not banned.
True.
You speak it,
It's not banned.
and you just hear like a like that. It doesn't sound any which way.
Do we hear what he says?
No.
Okay.
You see him like as he walks. Anyway,
And then we just hear everyone hears an ethereal in the whole city.
you're actually in a dream. This is you guys are still in the jungle.
You wake up. You
We're
wake up.
still looking for a J statue. Dude. Oh my god.
Varix was never here.
Dude, if you went, this was actually all a dream. You guys are still looking for.
You guys would
I think I would.
I
want
would.
to
I
quit.
would. I would.
Like that guy in the courthouse. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Just lock it.
It's before
Lock it.
Arendelle died.
We're not in the jungle.
Lock it. Okay.
Lucas is back.
We're locking in.
Lucas is back.
We're locking in.
Lock in.
We're locking in.
I know, this is so funny.
You walk through, and you hear that, like an inquisitive grunt. You walk through the city, and you see these 50-foot walls, and they are accompanied by these giant, like almost 100-foot, every like, I don't know, 150 feet around, giant spires, like watchtowers, but they're like incredibly tall. It is almost imposing how giant this wall is. Like a battlement for a giant city like this, like in terms of like actual scale, the walls aren't 50 feet tall for this long. It's like, you know, the front of a keep or like the interior castle, the whole ring of the city. You actually now find yourself overcome by the shadow of the giant wall. Leaving doesn't become much of a strenuous endeavor. As you near the frontal gate, or at least the gate that Varix has chosen to take you to, it's very obvious that there's multiple entrances and exits to this. There are very few people queuing to leave, and by few I mean zero. You guys approach the gate, and the gate is open, as in like the giant door isn't open, but there's like a small cutout that is accessible for carts and stuff to go through these giant stone doors. Kind of like, you know, opening up like a mall thing. He sees you approach, and like you see him like smoking a very poorly rolled cigarette. And he like sees you guys walking, and he like side-eyes you, and then you keep walking straight, and he's like, and then you keep walking straight, and he's like, there's no fucking shot. Like, there's absolutely no way. And then you get up, and he like rolls his eyes and flicks his cigarette, and he goes, sorry, the district is Market District is northern. It's more.
We were trying to leave.
You also you didn't have to put that out in our regard.
Yeah. Do you want to? I pull out a cigar. I'm like, do you want to? I'm sorry, you got to throw your smoke
No.
that we arrived.
Back that up. Back that up. You're leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the door to go
Yeah.
out.
We're going the right way to leave the city. correct?
I'm not sure as he goes into his little it's like a toll booth, right? He pulls out a giant thing and Varric steps forward and he opens his lapel and he produces his third book, the one you have yet to see, I believe.
Dude, this dude's got 100 books. I have no idea.
I figured he has like 40 books in a trench coat.
No, he pulls out the same one most of the time. So when he's in battle, he pulls out the iron cast one, and then he has that leather bound one that he uses for general purpose. This one he pulls out, it's overflowing with bookmarks, scraps of paper. It looks like if you were given a novel and said do a lit review on it and annotate everything in the margins. It is twice the size it probably originally was. It looks messy as all fuck. It is impossible to discern what's in it. And it's very worn and torn at the edges.
Sure.
I don't think you guys have seen this one.
I don't think so.
Probably
Pulls it out, flips through some pages, opens up to a page where he does this to it, and there's an image on the page, and it literally slides off the page itself and then turns solid. And he grabs it out of the air and he hands it to the guardsman. Seems to be some note card-sized piece of paper with a wax stamp. And Varric goes, I have an executive order to leave. Though your warnings are deeply appreciated, young man, keep your family safe. We have business to attend to. And then just walks by.
Ever heard of the broken bottle?
The guy is reading this, and you see him read, and Varric walks by, and then his face turns contorted, just utter amazement. And then goes and files the paper in his ledger and just doesn't mention anything. Just lets you go.
As I walk by, I'm like, you sure you don't want a cigar? I feel bad that you had to put out your cigarette.
No.
It's on. Go ahead and take it.
You may need it for the travel.
I have plenty of tobacco, trust me.
Yes.
I will not leave until you take it.
I have 2 pounds of tobacco that big.
Dude,
As you
that
see-
that is still peak moment for me.
As you see the outside of the city, this portion of the countryside is filled with more cherry blossoms and willows, tall meadows and grass. And that is what will end tonight's session.
Damn. Dude, the broken bottles are getting torn up because Brady's a fucking
Let it be
toxic
known
DM.
that this session was not even 24 hours of one day.
No, it was 8, aside from you resting.
It was
Yeah.
a good fucking session. I like that, though.
But my God.
There was a lot of wrap-up RP that needed to be done.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Kind of shorter, and I apologize for that.
Yeah, point.
Still